Well, Matt, the 2025 Melbourne International Comedy Festival is upon us.
Oh, I'm so excited, Dave. You and I are doing our shows. Bad Boy and Dave Warnicky dates the audience.
The entire audience.
Oh, dates the entire audience.
It's not any audience, it's the entire. Everyone gets a go.
Oh, that is so exciting. You're at the Improv Conspiracy. I'm at Spleen, both in the CBD.
That's right, very close to each other. That's the Paris end.
Oh, yeah. A beautiful end.
Beautiful.
And we're also doing...
That's right. Do go on the quiz show late, live, one night only at the Festival Club at Max Watts. That's Wednesday, April 2nd at 11 p.m. Yes, that's a school night, but it's going to be worth it because we've got two great guests, two fan favourites of the pod, Cameron James and Lizzie Hu joining us.
I'm so excited. What a combo. This is going to be a powerful festival.
It's going to be
feel that.
Going to be so good. And if you want tickets to any of those shows, go to comedyfestival.com.au or dogoonpod.com.
Boo-yah. That's a new catchphrase I'm thinking about.
You working on that?
Yeah.
Worried about what ingredients are hiding in your groceries? Let us take the guesswork out. We're Thrive Market, the online grocery store with the highest quality standards in the industry. We restrict 1,000 plus ingredients, so you can trust that you'll only find the best high quality, organic, and sustainable brands, all free of the junk. With savings up to 30% off and fast carbon neutral shipping, you get top trusted groceries at your door, and you can stop worrying about what your kids get their hands on. Start shopping at thrivemarket.com/podcast for 30% off your first order and a free gift.
BetterHelp Online Therapy bought this 30-second ad to remind you right now, wherever you are, to unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, take a deep breath in and out. Feels better, right? That's 15 seconds of self-care. Imagine what you could do with more. Visit betterhelp.com/randompodcast for 10% off your first month of therapy. No pressure, just help. But for now, just relax.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky and as always I'm here with Matt Stewart. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Dave.
Hello. So the new interview format. And joining us to join the interview this week, it's Rhys Nicholson.
Hey!
Hello.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Oh my goodness, you actually listen to the show.
I do. I'm a big old fan. I listen every week.
That is so nice.
I can't wait to find out what Wikipedia is. Those are the end of my references.
Rhys, can I ask you a quick question then?
Sure.
How good is it to be alive?
Oh, I'd rather die. No, what is it? How does she say it?
Well, I think that's a fresh take on an old classic.
Yeah.
I'd rather die.
I'd rather die. Those are the binaries, alive or dead. I'd rather... No, what is the shit? Why am I blanking on what she says?
I can't remember. It's something like...
I wish I was never born. I wish I was never born. Sorry. I wish I was never born. Are we allowed to say what Jess is doing?
No, probably not.
No, okay, never mind.
But now it sounds so mysterious, which is
well,
fun.
she's fine.
Yeah,
she's
right.
fine. Nothing
That's
to
the
report. She's fine.
She's fine.
She's fine.
Yeah.
She's fine.
You've been doing that to me for years, so I was trying to do it.
She's fine.
Hey, do you reckon, Rhys, if you have listened before, you could probably explain how the show works then?
Okay, so someone has written about a year 10 book report about something, and we're not going to talk over it and do shit riffs. Shit riffs?
Yeah, dog shit riffs.
Dog shit riffs.
Specifically.
Yeah, and no, it's just going to be, we're just going to listen, and it's not going to take 3 hours. I've been told that. I made the mistake of saying I do not have a heart out.
Yeah, and then you're like, it'd be good to be done in
by
3.5
hours, which is like, I was saying off air, I feel like I know who did the report by the length of the episode, and I feel like now finding out once I've gotten here who's doing the report, maybe I should say I do have a 3 hour hard out.
Yeah, I was like, you're saying 3 and I was like, no, please give us a hard out. We need that, please.
20 minutes. I have 20 minutes.
As soon as you said no hard out, Dave, like, he leant back in his chair and was he went from almost pressing record to going, well, let's talk. What have you been up to?
What have we been doing?
Oh, I know.
Save
Give
it for
him
the
a
pod.
hard out. The man can chat. chat.
But the
That's coming from Matt.
Yeah.
He's telling me that I can chat.
yeah,
Well,
but
you
he
know
doesn't
what?
remember if he can.
My
as we're learning.
episodes are long because you and Jess are chatting while I'm trying to tell a story. How about
This
that?
is fucking tense.
Yes, that's actually a pretty good point.
Yeah,
Matt.
that's a good point.
All right. Well, so we always start with a question, which Rhys, you know that.
Yes.
But it's Matt asking the question because it's your topic this week. What's your question?
Well, I think this is normally geography is Dave's strong suit because Jess isn't big on geography, but Rhys, you're a big traveller.
Yeah,
so
sure.
This is a battle of two titans of the field of geography.
And by travel, do you mean I tour for comedy, so I've seen some of the best westerns of the world?
Yes,
Yeah.
some of the best westerns.
Some of the best westerns.
Yeah, no, I think so, but I'm pretty sure you've both been to this place. All right, so I'm going to ask, what city has these nicknames? You can jump in at any point. The Melting Pot.
Oh.
The center of the universe.
Oh, I mean,
The capital of the world.
New York City.
Correct.
Yay. The melting pot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably
I went,
not within the next 3 years. I feel like that's going to change.
I went straight to Gary, Indiana because of the symbol of
Oh, that's
them
true.
melting
They do it. Yeah.
steel.
Their logo is a melting pot,
Yeah, it
isn't
is. So that really threw me
it?
off.
Being tipped onto the world.
And having been to Indiana, I don't know if it's much of a melting pot. I wouldn't describe it as a melting pot unless it was like a bechamel sauce.
There's a lot of different nicknames. The Big Apple's probably the most famous
Yeah.
one.
Well, you're going to get to that if we really.
Yeah, the Big Apple is the final one.
Yeah.
The city that never sleeps. The city, so nice they named it twice. The 5 boroughs. Metropolis. Gotham. It's got heaps. The greatest city in the world, which is...
Is Gotham, Gotham is New York. What's Metropolis?
Also New York, I think.
Or like...
But yeah, they're like two... They both exist in the same unit. Oh, this is going to
There
annoy
should have
us.
been like an LA. Metropolis
Yeah.
should have been LA.
Yep.
So all the superheroes are douchebags. But very well douchebags with wonderful skin.
Hello to our La La Land listeners.
Yeah.
Hello to all our douchebags.
They know what they are.
Yeah.
So, anyway, today's episode is based in the city of New York.
Wow.
City.
So we have been there. And Rhys, you would have toured there many times.
Yes. I'm an American citizen.
Yes, I found this out when you posted a photo of you got a US passport.
I got
and
my
everything.
dad's American. I got a US passport. Not as useful as it used to be, I'll say.
You stopped posting that on Instagram?
Yeah. Well, I would have liked it a lot more 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. But no, it's I would prefer a European one. But so if there's any I've married other people before. If anyone
Are you married into European royalty or
No, I just like to I would like to I feel like I'd use the British one a little bit more, surely.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like you guys are the same. Because I know that you want to tour America, and it's a fucking nightmare to
It's
tour
really
that
hard,
place.
yeah.
It's really hard.
And I was going to ask you for advice, and then you, which you actually wrote a beautiful letter for us, which is very, very helpful. We should appreciate that. But yeah, and then I realized that you can just go anytime
I
you
can
like
just
because
go.
of the passport.
Yeah, I just go. When my husband and I travel there, we have to go on different lines, and sometimes it will be like an hour wait as I just wander through.
You're on the other
They
end.
offer me drugs as I go through.
Oh, welcome back.
Do you want? Oh, here are your slippers and your gun. Yeah, I don't know. It's that funny thing with America, isn't it? Where I do love America. I did a little tour there last year, and it was great, and I love it so much. But then everything about the news is like, it's bad. Don't go there. My sister lives in New York as well, so I've spent quite a bit of time there. But New York, it's separate to America, surely.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if you if you think things are bad,
Uh-oh.
this isn't a happy report.
Are we doing September 11? Is that what we're doing?
No.
Have
no,
I
no.
come to do this podcast, the podcast that I love, on what is the last episode?
No, yeah, that's why we made sure we got an American citizen on.
Yeah.
Sort of gives us a pass to
Yeah.
make the jokes,
Yeah.
which we would never make,
No.
of course. No, that's not the topic today. The listeners already know the topic, so let's just get stuck into it.
Sure.
On the 31st of May, 1990, a 78-year-old retiree named Joseph Prochi was shot in Queens. That's one of the boroughs.
Yeah, it is.
One of the top 5.
Yeah.
One of my top 5.
Is that one? How do you rank them?
Yeah, right. Let's go. 1. Oh, wait, do we want to start at 5?
Yeah, you got to count them up. We'll do it like famous New York show.
The look of fear in your eyes.
The top 5 list, Letterman.
The Bronx?
Staten Island. Isn't that famously the lowest?
Yeah, the fairy's bad.
I thought you were going to put that at 1.
I mean, that's where I would put it.
Yeah, okay, sorry. You were going society rules, not you.
Yeah. What's your 5?
Oh, okay. Top 5 in any order. Staten Island, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn.
That's and so you've put Manhattan at number 3
in any order.
In any order, okay, all right.
And you, in the any order you did, was least to most preferred.
So this man got shot in Queens.
Got shot in Queens.
Flushing Queens.
Was he there to sell makeup?
Oh, it was a crushing scene.
It really would have been. Oh my god.
So, Detective Mike Chirivolo attended the crime scene that night. He remembers, quote, a detective picked up Prochy's coat and he shook it, and a bullet fell down onto the concrete steps. The bullet had passed through Joe, Prochy, and had come to rest in his heavy coat.
He was tired.
Yeah. The bullet was tired.
Was sleepy. Oh my god. You know how fast I was going?
Yeah.
Just killed this man.
But do you think it's the thing that cops do where they just shake evidence?
Yeah.
Just pick stuff up and give it a good shake?
I do feel like I wouldn't see too much of like Detective Gorin and Eames in Criminal Intent just shaking a corpse
Give it a
to
good
see
shake.
what happens.
We'll see what falls out. Oh, false teeth. Okay.
They were just saying they were looking for change or something.
They wanted to buy a newspaper from one of the vending machines.
Chirivolo continues, that's the detective. Once we were able to interview him, he survived. He said that he was out for his nightly walk. The shooter followed him. He told him, "Get away from me. I don't have any money." And that's when he got shot. It was dark. His eyesight was not good. He couldn't tell us what the perpetrator looked like, so it wasn't really helpful. It's so funny to be like, this guy, this victim.
Oh my god. I've been mugged 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, and
You are.
yeah,
a traveller.
I'm open to the universe. And one of the times I got mugged a block away from a police station, and it was a very polite mugging, and I had to go in to the police station, and there was a little bit of that vibe. I mean, also ACAB, but went in and the cops, I was like, "Hi, I just got mugged like 5 minutes ago," and they were like, "Where?" And I was showing them on the map, like there, and they're like, "Around the corner," and they were like, kind of laughing about it. I was like, "Yeah, I got mugged looking at a police station."
Yeah,
anyway.
where were you?
Yeah. What, eating donuts? Is that what cops do? Yeah.
Was this an American one?
Nah, Australian. So they might have been having like a
probably having like Vegemite,
finger bun.
a cheesy mite scroll.
Yeah. Baker's Delight or something from Michelle's Patisserie.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Valet.
What a way to find out. Is that true?
Yeah, they're off.
Well,
Where
no,
are the
Michelle.
elderly going to sit now during the day next to a Kmart?
Coffee club.
Yeah, true.
They've got options.
Yeah. Coffee club.
Maybe this is Starbucks' chance to really break into Australia.
Yeah, that's right. Never worked here, did it?
No.
Anyway.
I think it was Michelle's Patisserie that I used to live with someone and her parents lived next door to the founder, maybe? And that they had a tennis court where which was also the entrance to the garage, and it would lift up sort of Thunderbird style, and they could drive their cars into their, 14-car garage.
Out of the tennis court.
Yeah.
Michelle
did
Living
well
the life.
for a while there.
Well, I love Michelle in the wintertime. I love Michelle. Anyone remember that from the 90s? No, just me? Newcastle. There was an ad that was like, "I love Michelle in the wintertime. I love Michelle in the spring."
Oh,
and then it was
like
just a picture of bad-looking cakes.
And is it for Michelle's Patisserie?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it was just an ad for a woman called Michelle.
A local ad.
I love my wife, Michelle.
Exactly. Like,
That's
Glenn's
when-
doing an ad about his wife, Michelle. I've got extra money. This is what. Happy anniversary, baby.
When summer
Love
comes around,
Michelle.
I hate Michelle.
Michelle, she broke my heart.
That's a song about Paris normally, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. I love Paris in the wintertime. I love Paris in the spring.
Which I think was big in the 90s as well because of a Kevin Kline movie. Doesn't matter. My parents had the soundtrack. Doesn't matter.
I think it could have been Ferguson Player that I'm thinking about the tennis court.
I love Ferguson Player.
Which my dad calls Ferguson Plare, which I love.
What's Ferguson Player?
Well, it's
Oh, yeah.
like it's
It's a
like
similar-
an adjacent
To Michelle's, they sell, but they do very good pies.
Is it yes, on brand?
Fantastic.
Is it Victoria exclusive?
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, I always thought it sounded quite French, focus on Poiré, but
Same with Michelle's.
Michelle.
What? Paris, Melbourne, a place of alleyways and coffee.
Well, there's also the end of one of the streets in Melbourne that is a Paris end. I forget which one. You haven't come across that in your few years living here?
Nah.
There's a
I don't walk around. I don't look at it.
The Paris end of Collins Street. Oh my goodness!
Like some
Top
people
end.
will
So
say it to you
beautiful.
seriously, like, "Oh yeah, you should check out the Paris end."
Is it called that because it is closer to Paris?
I think
like
that must
actual
be.
Paris?
Yeah. Just it's
Like-
slightly north. It's the north end of the street.
Like that's the Paris end of this studio.
Technically,
over there.
I think there's a Prada outlet or
there's-
some sort
there's-
of
I think
Paris place.
There's
Oh.
one Chanel, and they go, "Ooh, Paris end."
Oh, you
Is
got to check
Prada
out
Paris? Doesn't
the
matter.
Antarctic end of Collins Street. It's beautiful.
So this time of year,
Oh my god, it's not as cold as you'd think.
Oh, anyway, we haven't got far in.
Nah.
This is definitely going the. This is going to go the
Yeah,
distance
we're gonna
today.
do it. It's gonna happen.
And you're both going to blame me.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. What takes the longest is the dog shit riff.
I have actually already noticed so many times you tried to get it back on track. So, like, respect to you, it is definitely Jess and me who asked.
Okay,
blame.
I'll shut the fuck up then.
No,
Jesus,
Jess
Dave.
and me to blame. Never blame the guest.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Never blame
I
you
upped
guys.
up. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure-
I've got a parasocial relationship with this podcast, and I've forgotten that we're not family.
You're yelling at your iPod from inside the iPod.
Yeah. I've got an iPod.
So yes. Anyway,
Someone's been shot.
and then Chirivolo's sort of turned and I'm like, this is hopeless.
Useless witness.
Ugh.
No good. The shooting wasn't particularly out of the ordinary. This is New York City in 1990, and during that 12-month period, apparently there were 212,000 violent crimes reported.
Pre-Giuliani.
212,000.
Yes.
Is that possible?
Giuliani gets a brief reference
Yep.
later.
Is that?
I couldn't get my head around it, but this is according to disastercenter.com. And it was a pretty official looking
It almost
graph.
It feels like that. How did that affect the population? Like
That's unbelievable.
That's wild.
That's like 600 or 700 every day.
Yeah. What's the population of New York City? Apologize for that.
It is a loose time in history, that time in New York. Like, there's a movie called Paris is Burning. Well, you look that up also. There's a movie called Paris is Burning that's kind of about the ballroom scene, like a kind of queer, like, voguing.
Yeah.
And there's a person in that documentary called Dorian Corey, who is like a kind of famous, they call them like house mothers. And she's in it a lot, and she's a really fascinating person. Anyways, when she died, they were going through the back of her closet, and they found in a steamer trunk a mummified dead man. And it was this guy that had, the theory is that this guy broke into her house and she shot him and was like, well, it's the mid and early 90s and I'm a queer person. I'm going to go to jail for this. So I'm going to wrap him up in some doonas and put him in the back of my closet and not worry about it. And he'd been there for like 10 years.
Wow.
And because it was New York in the 90s, people were like, that guy just disappeared, and they're like, probably murdered.
That guy disappeared. That apartment smells a bit funny.
Well.
It's New York.
Yeah.
Apparently 7.3 million. So what's that? 200,000? That's still a pretty big chunk, but it's, it's not every other person.
Yeah. It just seems crazy. And these are
Yeah, so
violent
it's
crimes.
fine.
Yes, exactly. Chances are it's only a few of us.
And you know what's crazy? 3 people did all of them.
They just did nothing
And we're
to stop
talking
us.
about
3
one
people.
of them today.
Oh, the penguin.
We will get to the penguin. He's still at the Antarctic end of New York. So, yeah, over 200,000 violent crimes. They're like, the shooting, the guy survived. It's not a high priority. There's so many murders happening. But what made this crime scene stand out to Detective Chirivolo was I want to call him Mike because every time I look at his name, I have to go, all right, stop, have a think.
Yeah.
Try and pronounce.
Sounds like a delicious treat from Michelle's patisserie.
Oh, one for a roller, please.
Chirivolo, please.
Make it 2.
Yeah. Toi.
So at the scene, Chirivolo says he finds a cryptic, eerie note.
Did it like fall out of the jacket pocket? He shook it.
Yeah.
Would you say it was a riddle? Oh my God. Jim Carrey killed this man.
Somebody stop him.
Yeah. What's this buffoonery? But he on the top left of the note was a circle with a cross through it, like a crosshair. And on the top right was a circle with 3 slices of pie drawn into it, each with a different symbol.
I'm listening.
And then,
It's all coming
it's
together.
a picture of
You love pies and oh no,
Dave. We've finally cracked this code.
the greatest combination of the entire history of this podcast was one of you finding out that the other one was a serial killer and revealing it on the podcast of like, here's a story of a famous serial killer around Melbourne in the last 30 years. Anyways.
All right, you got me.
And then, the note simply reads, Zodiac, time to die.
Oh! What? They're back?
Yeah, well, the Zodiac killings, they're infamous, right?
Yes.
We covered them way back on episode 64, but here's a quick recap. They occurred between 1968 and 1969, and according to Zodiac
You do listen.
chronicler Drew H. Beeson, I like how you're claiming that as something you'd
It's
need.
from the podcast. You guys invented it.
But we didn't invent it, but it's also that we would stop on any date, and I appreciate that Rhys brought that up.
Yeah. But you guys did invent the position 69.
Yes. Oh my god. I've invented so many sexual positions of my own.
That was
and then
the
the 3 of us
nicest
came together.
word.
We were like, let's do some.
Because you're
some new
famously a massive slut.
stuff. So slutty.
Yeah.
Stati.
Am I saying that right?
So this is according to Zodiac chronicler Drew H. Beeson. The Zodiac killings were crimes that occurred in Northern California. It was a very complex set of crimes, involved 5 deaths and 2 survivors. It was a very strange set of murders that involved letters to newspapers. It also involved ciphers, which were messages hidden in cryptic codes, and it became the most notorious unsolved mystery in American history. The last confirmed notice we got from the San Francisco Zodiac was in 1974 in what's known as the Exorcist letter. That's according to Beeson. Which means that if this was the same killer, there had been a period of 16 years between letters. Detective Chirivolo noticed the similarities, and it's amazing that he 16 years, and he's still like, Zodiac, there was another one of these.
How about
guys.
this?
Could that be the same guy? So he contacted the crime lab in San Francisco to get a comparison between the handwriting. Could it be that this is the original Zodiac resurfacing on the east coast of America after 16 years? Well, no. According to...
Oh, okay. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Should we be disappointed?
It was Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
I thought about holding that back longer, but I'm like, I think most people will know that we did our episode about it after 1990, and we probably would have mentioned.
Yeah. And also, it just would have come up. Like, every time there's a documentary on, like, I was going to say Foxtel or something, but it's always like the mystery of the Zodiac Killer or the mystery. And you watch to the end as if they're going to tell you what happened in there. I feel like this would have hit the news.
Yeah, exactly. So according to Chirivolo, I got a call from the detectives in San Francisco, and they let us know this is a copycat. This is not our Zodiac. The handwriting didn't match up at all.
Weird thing to be territorial about.
This
is ours.
Get your own.
We pissed on this serial killer, so you can't have it.
A couple of weeks later, Chirivolo is told the police have been sent another letter via the New York Post. So the New York Post has been sent a letter by the New York Zodiac Killer.
Okay.
Shooter at this point.
And there's the New York Post is kind of the shit one, right? Like, it's
I think
kind
it's one of the Murdoch. It's the tabloidy one. Yeah. I don't know this for sure, but it's the kind of one that might talk about alien abductions on the cover.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
They want the truth.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
out
appreciate
there.
that.
It might be. Is it their version of the Northern Territory News?
Yeah, maybe. Less crocodile based.
Yeah.
Less kangaroo fucking a pig.
Yeah. What? I wonder what their version of that is. Probably squirrels.
Squirrel
fucking a pig.
Squirrels fucking a pig.
That's harder to do.
Although, what a front page you see a crocodile in the center of New York City. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm clicking on that.
So this note reads, "This is the Zodiac. The 12th sign will die when the belts in the heaven are seen. The first sign is dead on March 8, 1990, 1:45 a.m. white man with cane, shoot on the back in the street. The second sign is dead on March 29, 1990, 2:57 a.m. White man with black coat, shoot on the back in the street. The third sign is dead on May 31, 1990, 2:04 a.m. White old man with cane, shoot in front of house.
I'm no New York, the city that never sleeps. But are old people with canes really wandering up and down the street at 2 a.m. frequently? That's setting yourself a hard target if you're a serial killer.
I get, and maybe he sells canes, and so he knows he's got like a database of all the people.
Where they are. Or he's got the cane as a prop. He's an old man. Hey, throws it to them.
It. No,
Oh my God,
Bang.
this is sounding like the Penguin again.
If there's one thing I know about old men as well, you throw a cane at them, they catch it.
Yeah.
And they start doing a little tap
Hey.
dance.
And twirl it, yeah.
I also, that it was very beat poetry that, like, I really wanted like a
Hey, Joe, can you add that in post?
and do it with my lisp.
That works really
Yeah,
well.
it kind of gives it a bit of a,
It signed off, even though at the start it says this is the Zodiac, he signs off Faust. And then it says, no more games, pigs. And then it says, all shoot in Brooklyn, no grooves in bullet. And that's the note. You can see it here.
Oh.
All right, it's got the diagrams going up top, like you said. It's got the Zodiac symbol.
It does look like the type of, you're on a phone call and you're taking some notes and also just doing some doodles up in the corner.
No one will see this.
like drawing a box and then putting like a little frill around it, and then like it's a very I mean, it just sounds like maybe someone speaking English as a second language, right?
Could be.
Shoot on the back, was it? Not
Shoot on the back.
Yes, or you're just someone trying not to use anything. You know, when you wonder, you go, is it someone using their left hand and purposely, you know, like you're keeping it vague because you don't want to be caught. But you're taunting, calling them pigs.
Oh, rude.
Squirrels and pigs?
Squirrels and pigs. A squirrel fucking a cop
could
in
it
the
all
center of
mean?
New York City.
So yeah, there's a bit to go through here, I would say.
All right.
Firstly, the note mentions 3 murders. At this point, they're only aware of one.
sorry, is this not predicting murders?
No, the third one.
These dates have already passed.
The dates have already passed.
Gotcha.
And the third one is Protchi, the old fella who had the coat shaken out.
Ah.
So, and that isn't even a murder. He's in hospital. He's not doing great, but he's alive. And the details of that third victim match perfectly, note for note.
Right, so they're looking for 2 other potential victims.
Exactly. And then the other, I'll get back to that in a second. And then the other thing is it's signed off as Faust.
The devil.
Yeah, the Faustian Pact thing. Apparently, I only knew of the Faustian Pact as like the idea of making a deal with the devil, right? Is that right?
Yeah, is that the guy that went down to Georgia and made a deal with the devil?
I think he went to the crossroads. It was... So this is according to Britannica. I was really hoping Dave would just pick this up as a book guy.
No, sorry.
But I didn't mean... I didn't mean it like that.
Fucking.
I was not...
I took one look at you and thought, never read a book in their life.
That is not what I meant.
I've dreamed of coming on this podcast for so long, and
To be treated this way.
Rhys, what I was trying to
just
say
spit
was...
on me, Matt.
Dave gave me nothing is
Can
what
you
I was
spit on
I
me?
saying.
said the devil! That's what it basically
Please
is.
spit on me. Yeah.
This is according to Britannica.
There's a Goethe and all that sort of stuff,
Faust
right?
is the hero.
I don't know. I don't read.
One of the most durable legends in Western folklore and literature. The story of a German necromancer and astrologer who sells his soul to the devil in exchange for knowledge and power. Apparently, there were maybe up to 2 real Fausts.
Mm-hmm.
Up to 2.
Up to 2. At least one. Up to 2.
At least one, but there could be 0. No.
It could be 0.
Could be 0.
Up to.
Up to and including.
I love the term necromancer as well, where they've tried to like give it a really cute name for what is someone fucking the dead.
Is that what necromancer
I
is?
think necromancy
No, that's
is...
necrophilia.
Oh. But
necromancer sounds like the bit before the necrophilia, doesn't it?
Yeah, where you're taking the dead body out for dinner.
You got to wine and dine.
Yes!
And then wrap them up in a doona, back of the cupboard, never to be thought of again.
But what does necromancer mean?
All right, I'm looking it up.
Doing spells and stuff with the dead, is that right?
Oh, it says a person who practices necromancy.
Beautiful.
No further questions, I assume?
It's a great drag
but
name
then
as
it
well.
says,
Necro Nancy.
and then it has an example. Dr. Faustus was a necromancer of the 16th century. All right, we're going around in circles
This
now.
gives
Tell us what
nothing.
it is.
Also called black magic.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I went
word
straight to
for-
fucking dead people.
Apparently, it's from the ancient Greek word for corpse, necro, and prophecy, mancy.
Ah,
Mancy's a nice name for a boy or girl.
corpse prophecy. Beautiful language.
Anyway, that's I don't that doesn't really come to anything. It just shows that this.
Oh, they signed off as Faust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sort of started by saying that they were the Zodiac and ended by saying they were
I
Faust.
forgot who they were.
Yeah. So what could it all mean? Oh, the note also has no grooves in bullet. As
Oh,
a note.
yeah. Are bullets technically usually grooved?
I think for her pleasure, but the they normally hey, let Chiravolo explain.
Thank you.
He says guns are unique. There's lands and grooves inside. So you can match bullets to the gun it was fired from. Basically, like they all almost have their individual fingerprint, right?
Right.
What's the problem with this generation? All guns are unique and interesting and smart.
Snowflakes. Every bullet's a bloody snowflake.
Yeah, back in my day, bullets were fucking bullets.
When the bullet was tested at the lab, it was found to have no grooves, just as the note suggested. Something only the shooter would have known. And this meant that the shooter was probably using a zip gun, which Chiravolo describes as a crude homemade gun. It's basically a length of pipe. They're impossible to trace. It's just a piece of plumbing. Beeson says that was actually pretty intelligent, knowing that he would never be able to be linked to these guns.
And did he say it in that tone?
I assume so,
It's
yeah.
actually pretty intelligent.
It does. It sounds so dismissive. That was actually pretty intelligent for this guy who is escaping any justice so far. So Chiravolo notices.
Oh, so far.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away one way or the other. So Chiravolo notices that the note writes on May 31st, white old man with cane shoot in front of house is Joe Procci. But of course, he also notices there are 2 other shootings prior to that.
Wow, that's actually pretty smart, pretty
That's
intelligent
smart.
to notice that.
Oh, he's a detective.
Oh.
You don't get that badge for nothing, okay?
Yeah.
Uh,
Detective. Necro detective.
you got to fuck quite a few dead squirrels to get that badge.
Detect romance.
Detect romance.
Detect romancy.
That's really good.
Thank you. We don't know why or how.
It'll come around somewhere. So they go through all the murders in their records, but find no matches.
Even though there's like 50,000 murders that have occurred over the
Yeah,
last
it's
12
tricky.
months.
Well, there's probably not that many murders. Okay.
Just
I don't
violent
want-
crimes.
Just violent crime.
I don't want New York in 1990 getting a bad rap.
It was a paradise.
I mean, look, how many murders in New York 1990?
That was the year I was born.
I think
Me too.
I think it's like
Maybe we're
thousands.
reincarnations of dead New Yorkers.
Oh. Maybe we're one of the murder victims.
Oh my god.
Whoa. 2,245 murders.
Yeah. So
How
it's-
many? What?
2,245. New York, this is according to the Google AI overview, was the deadliest year for New York City in terms of murders.
Do you know what though? 2000. Like, it's heaps. But if we're painting the story of like, oh, was the worst place on earth.
Yeah, it's only 1% of the violent crimes.
Yeah.
But these days, 2022, there was only 327. So it has gone down a lot.
Like, grow up. Could have been worse.
You're so disappointed.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like 40,000 or something.
Yeah.
Like a suburb.
Yeah.
I thought a suburb was going to be gone.
We lost one of the boroughs.
Yeah, there's no Queens anymore, everyone. We killed everyone in Queens.
Aw.
Oh. Except for someone with a rent controlled apartment that's not moving.
So, sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah.
But yeah, of the 2,200 murders, they're like, none of these match. These
match.
people with
Very specific.
Guy with a cane. What was the other one? There was 2 canes, and we've already had 1 cane. And then there was one with a black jacket, or was that the
Black
same?
coat, yeah.
Black coat.
So
It's hard to keep up with it because the letter was so confusing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've retained no information from it.
there
No
was
grooves.
No groups.
I'll take you through it. I don't think you'll
Okay.
need to retain any of that particularly.
Oh, okay.
That's basically
Gone.
The whole show is like that. You walk out of here, it's gone. But we have fun.
Yes.
So yeah, none of the murders matched, but then they're like, oh well, he said this one was a murder and it wasn't. The guy's still alive, so maybe the other ones also survived.
His
So
potato cannon gun didn't work.
Spud gun.
He's got that's what I'm imagining, a spud gun. He's got the deodorant can, filling it up, and then got the little barbecue ignition, and then he just shot a guy in the back with a potato.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, geez, they've gone out of fashion, but no, I just don't hang around with teenage boys anymore.
Yeah.
You're not 13 anymore.
Yeah, you're not like lighting Lynx Africa on fire in
Like,
your
it'd be
friend's
crazy if
bedroom
you still
anymore.
were.
Yeah.
Which I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Love my potato. My neighbours hate me.
The quality really picked up when my brother and his mates all started apprenticeships, and they could get like the quality lengths of pipe and
Actually gluing it together properly.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
duct tape.
Suddenly you're down in Queens shooting strangers.
Oh, I've said too much.
Exploding a whole suburb with your potato gun.
So they start going through the non-fatal shootings, and bingo, they get matches for both. So on,
Bingo! Were they like that?
Yeah. Yeah, the old guys with canes, that's
that
where
was
they
far
were.
too loud. Sorry about that, everyone.
They were leaving the bingo parlour.
Yeah.
Two old men with canes. That's number 100 and 100 something or other.
I think it's 1,101 because
Yeah.
it's like one and then the cane and then one and then the cane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
bingo. That's ultimate bingo.
Yeah.
So on March the 8th, 1990, according to Sal Bono, I'm going to quote a little bit, writing for Inside Edition, Mario Orozco was on his way home from his job washing dishes at a coffee shop when he was shot in the back by a man wearing a ski mask. And then apparently the gunman put the gun to his head. He's lying on the ground.
That's like one of the main bits.
But he shoots him in the back, goes down. Gunman holds the gun to his head.
He's like, hang on, I've just got to fill this canister up with Lynx Africa. Give me a second. Screw the back on. All right, we're back.
And according to the New York Times, since he didn't move, Orozco thinks the gunman thought he was dead. The victim then walked home, made a cup of coffee, and called the police.
But in my head, he has a sip of coffee and it shoots
Yeah,
out like a
before.
little. It's like, oh, I got to call the ambulance.
It doesn't usually do that.
Fill your cup up again.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm not getting the caffeine hit that I need.
Man, that guy's not going to sleep. This is, 2 a.m.? He's having a coffee?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I guess
crazy behavior.
he had to keep awake for the cops to come.
Yeah, you don't want to be falling asleep before the cops come for your attempted murder.
Yeah,
That's
like,
embarrassing.
They're banging on the door. You're sound asleep. Bleeding out.
Bono continues. On March 29th, Jermaine Montecedro, who was 33 at the time, was shot in the head
Oh.
and in his side while in Jamaica, Queens. He too recovered from his injuries.
What?
So you're getting the vibe that this homemade gun isn't probably the most powerful and...
But who gets shot in the head and survives?
Yeah.
Even with a potato,
Yeah.
which is what I am now imagining he's actually using.
Like, I'm just under the... Yes. Or a yam. I am under the impression... because movies tell me you get shot in the torso, you might survive. Shot in the head.
That's
you're
it.
not...
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
brain. That's where the brain is.
Yeah, I guess must have like nicked the skull. Oh, a bit of flesh wound.
Yeah.
Must have got one of the fleshy bits. Maybe had jowls.
But like, where? Yeah, I don't know. I find this very confusing.
Yeah.
Is it a bad murderer?
Yes.
In that he's not murdered anyone yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he thinks he has. He thinks he's
Yeah.
3 for 3.
Oh my God.
Because you think, I got a headshot.
I'm done.
It's over.
Main bit.
Yeah.
That's
And then
what-
also the body as well got hit. Oh my gosh.
But then you see the news and then you got to look in the mirror before you go out to do your next murder. You look in the mirror and you're like, you got this, man. Yes, you got this.
And you got to make sure. And then the next one, he came up. I think they're dead. I won't shoot him in the head. I'll let them go. And then
Yeah,
they
don't
got up
waste
and
a potato.
they got up and made a coffee.
Yeah.
Don't want to waste a potato.
Yeah, something about him then getting up and walking home to
Yeah.
call the cops.
If you're the attempted murderer, you're reading that feeling really embarrassed. I've stuffed this up really badly.
I think that's a good snapshot of New York in the 90s as well. If you get shot and you're like, oh boy, what a day. Better get home for a hot cup of joe and wait for the pigs to come.
Yeah, and then they call the cops. They're like, "You got shot?" Yeah, so
Yeah.
did everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, take a
We're
number.
super busy tonight.
Did you die?
Did you die?
3 potatoes got stolen from the corner shop near you.
So Giravolo says, this guy's a serial shooter and he thinks he's killed him, but all 3 survived.
He's not a serial killer. He's a serial shooter. Gosh, that's embarrassing.
We then realise his drawings on the pie slice coincides with the 3 correct astrological signs of the first 3 victims.
Oh, so he sounds insufferable.
Orozco, Montenegro, Proci. He had the Taurus, he had the Scorpio, and he had the Gemini.
Oh, he knew their birth sign.
Somehow he knew their signs.
Wow.
They don't know how he knew, but somehow he knew.
And these 3 people don't know each other.
No.
Whoa, that's okay. I'm back on.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Maybe he does the horoscopes for the New York Post.
Oh.
Like, you will get shot today, Taurus.
The next day, it's like, yeah, I live in New York.
Yeah.
We're all getting
It's
shot
gonna
today.
happen.
But luckily, no one dies, or very few. You'd be like, yeah, everyone gets shot.
Yeah.
Very few die.
Yeah, like 2,000 or something.
Yeah.
A blip.
In a whole year.
A blip.
Chances are you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
What's that? That's multiple a day, though, in one city. People being murdered.
Yeah, but it's only 1% of the violent crimes.
Yeah, okay.
So-
when you put it like that.
Pretty good.
This is a good podcast now because it's just 3 white male presenting people talking about like violence is fine. I don't know
honestly-
what. As soon as the one woman on the show leaves, we're like, stop complaining.
Well, I mean, you know Jess better than that.
Yeah.
She'd be like, why are we even talking about this?
Yeah.
Even it's just showing that they had a lot of criminals, but they were really bad.
Or their heart
Yeah.
wasn't really in it.
Yeah, it's like they were seeing others and going, I guess this is what I do as well.
Yeah.
And then no one was actually properly
You know.
You know,
Going
being-
through with it.
Yeah, being a serial killer anyway.
Commit.
Or die.
Murder.
So Giravolo continues. So a lot of this I'm quoting, there's a Netflix documentary about
Right.
it. So a lot of my Giravolo quotes I'm notating from the actual show. It's great fun to watch him. There'll be a link to the show in the show notes. But Giravolo he's like this guy, you know those ones where they show a bit of him sitting down to be interviewed, bit of the natural stuff.
Yeah,
and someone behind the camera goes, "Oh, it's a nice suit," and he goes, "Yeah, the tailor puts my name in it." And he opens his jacket and his name's written in it.
Says like Zara.
Weird nickname, I know.
It's a nickname. I like it. Top man.
But they also show
Oh, this jacket's complimenting me.
they show his high school yearbook, and under his photo it says ambition police officer. So he's
A
like
psycho.
from a kid he always
Watch out for this one.
he always wanted to be a cop. Anyway, Giravolo continues. Now I'm thinking there's 12 signs. He's got a game plan, and his intent is to carry it out. How do we get this guy before there are more? Again, that note is brought down to the lab to try and get latent fingerprints off it. Were there prints on this? Answer, no.
Oh.
So he probably wore gloves. Again, detective.
God, he's good.
He is good.
How's he know?
The New York Post plastered the letter on the front page story. Giravolo's like saying, please don't post it. Give us more time. If we catch him, you can have the exclusive, but don't let everyone know, you know, some of the only information that we have secretly, you know.
Yeah.
This is our only edge at this point. But yeah, put it on the front page, and this put further pressure on the police to crack the case. Another letter came to light as well. It was sent through on the 17th of November, 1989, meaning it came through several months before the shootings. And this is what it said. This is the Zodiac. The first sign is dead. Doesn't seem like there was anyone killed at this point, but anyway. The Zodiac will kill the 12 signs in the belt when zodiacal light is seen. The Zodiac will spread fear. I've seen a lot of police in Jamaica Avenue and Eldon Lane, but you are no good and will not get the Zodiac. Orion is the one that can stop Zodiac and the Seven Sister.
And was that sent to the New York Post, that one? And they just went, this is a crazy letter?
That was sent to the cops.
Oh, and they went, ignore.
Well, they looked into it and they couldn't figure out that, apparently they get a lot of wacky letters and they looked into it and they're like, I guess this is just another.
And he just seems he seems, you don't want to meet him at a party. You know what I mean? Like he's going to want to do like a reading for you and like, oh, I brought my guitar, by the way. Like that's who this guy is.
You're building a profile.
Yes.
Right before my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm loving
Looking
it.
for a guy carrying around a guitar.
And a potato
He's
gun.
always tuning it.
What are you thinking? Age and sort of like...
I reckon 36. So he's come to terms with the fact that he's 35 and he's not pleased. Things have not led to where he wanted them to be.
Right.
So he started to murder people to find purpose. I think 36 is to be about the age men panic.
Yeah. It's classic midlife crisis age, I think.
Yeah. 36, definitely white.
And so it was either this or a sports car. And if you can't afford a sports car...
Can't afford a sports car. Not in New York 1990. The rent.
Yeah. And you know what's very affordable? Spud guns.
Yes.
Just need a length of pipe. Lynx deodorant.
And a barbecue lighter.
So there's all these references to the occult and astrology in his notes. And Chirivolo thought that, quote, he writes about Orion, the Seven Sisters, the belts in heaven. So there's an aspect of this investigation that required some thought outside the proverbial box.
That actually sounds really smart.
Yeah, if you think about it.
Enter Detective Larry Melanesi. He was part of a team that would look into astrology, astronomy, witchcraft, all these sorts of things.
Oh my God, it's Spooky Mulder.
Oh.
It is apparently, but like seeing him interviewed, he reminds me more of a De Niro character. He sort of has the mannerisms of De Niro. But yeah, it's like De Niro playing Mulder.
Oh my gosh, imagine. I'd love to see that.
And if you're watching this on a clip, that was a dead-on De Niro that we just saw as well.
The lip move, the head bob. Hey.
I didn't even attempt one.
No, you did.
Your
You did
one. Yes.
No, Matt, you did.
No,
you did that.
You did do
that.
something. You did something with your face.
You did it. You were about to say, "Are you talking to me?"
Are you talking to me? There's no
You
one
were
else
about to
here.
say that.
Why am I being bullied?
I don't know.
We're
Jess isn't here.
We're praising your acting.
Yeah. You've got the part.
You're playing Robert De Niro playing Fox Mulder.
One of the treacherous things about being gay is that sometimes you think you're just having a conversation with someone and you realise you're bullying them. Like, I think tonally that was fine. Oh no, I was absolutely bullying him. Yep.
I just eviscerated you in front of all your friends.
Yeah.
I thought that was banter.
All in good fun. I think that's podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently Milanesi or De Niro Mulder later
De Niro Mulder
later said people would pejoratively call them things like the Devil Desk and the Voodoo Team.
Wow, that doesn't X-Files. They were getting a lot of flack from the other agencies.
And this is 1990. Is this pre X-Files?
That's just pre X-Files.
Just.
Jeez, I wonder. Do you reckon that Chris
Carter was
ripped
inspired?
It off? I mean, was inspired.
Also, Voodoo Desk isn't that bad.
No, I think both of them sound sick.
Yeah.
Voodoo Desk, Devil Desk, Voodoo Team.
It's great.
I'd love these.
I'd see a band called that.
Yeah. Welcome to the Devil Desk. How can I help you?
So I was hoping to speak to the Voodoo Team, actually.
Oh,
I'll put you right through. So Milanesi and his team figured out there was a pattern. The shooter was operating on a 21-day cycle. According to Milanesi, De Niro Mulder, we had 3 shootings and these notes came in. They were all very detailed with times and dates and zodiac signs. We created a chart with the dates of the shootings. We had March 8th, March 29th, and May 31st. What we could see was a 21-day cycle being followed here. We found out that the Parks Department had a very prestigious astronomer.
Sorry, what were the dates?
Yes, I can see you're right. The first two are in 21 days, and then there's a bit of a gap to the 31st. But I think it's a 21 multiple between the second and third.
Or it might be like a 42.
Or a 63. Oh my God. I forget people are listening to this on a recording. They can rewind back and check.
They can just check. I wanted my new phone tone to be you whispering, April, May. It was it was genuinely quite pleasant ASMR.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
March 1st, March 2nd, March 3rd.
21 days.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. This is the new sleep podcast.
Oh, man.
Oh.
That is good. That is powerful when it works on yourself. But I'm always tired. So
it does feel like statistically they are like clutching at straws at the first two, 21 days apart.
Well,
and the one after that, if you multiply 21 by 3.
Oh, Dave. You haven't heard the kicker. So back to Melanie.
The kicker is he wrote another letter saying, I'm working on a 21-day cycle.
I missed one in the middle. I'm sorry. I had to take my mother to hospital. Oh, I said too much.
Don't check the hospital records.
Oh, no.
So they had access to this great astronomer, and apparently he laid it out. This is still Milanesi. We found out that on March the 8th, 3 specific constellations were visible at the time of the shooting: Seven Sisters, Taurus, and Orion. On March 29th, all 3 were visible at the time of the shooting. The next 2 21-day periods, the stars were not in the sky at the same time. No shootings. Then on May the 31st, the third shooting, at 2:04 a.m., all the stars were in the sky. So we asked him, give us the next 21 days. Let's just see what's going on. And June 21st was when all 3 would be visible.
Whoa.
All the arrows were pointing towards June 21st between 1 and 4 a.m. in the morning.
I thought all the arrows are now pointing to that astronomer.
Yeah. If this was Law and Order.
Super guilty.
If this was Law and Order, it's him.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, mate. You're coming with us.
If this was Law and Order SVU or Criminal Intent, we would have met him early on in the episode. He would have helped.
Yeah.
And then we see him later on in the season, in the episode, and it all comes true.
And it's like, oh, suddenly he seems way more creepy.
And he's played by Martin Short or something. Like, anytime they're like, you meet someone that's a super famous theatre actor, you're like, it's them.
Yeah, why else? Why? They're not doing 3 lines at the start of an episode. For
Yeah,
no reason.
they're not in to be the greengrocer.
Yeah.
So they're pretty confident
that is cool.
They know when the next one's going to happen. And they're like, this has never happened before. You can't normally predict. You can't normally say this is when it's going to happen. We just have to be there waiting. Problem is they're waiting in the city of New York. They think it's going to be somewhere in Queens, or they reckon they know the general area. So I can't remember. It's got to be Queens, right?
Yeah.
I find New York confusing. Maybe it was because Brooklyn's also involved at some point.
Look, you just got to go there enough times, and it's a city that really opens up to you.
Okay.
You think, it was so overwhelming, and then one day you're like, this is my city.
I think that about every city, though. I still I've lived in Melbourne most of my life, and I'm still like, where's that?
I don't drive, so I don't know where anything is.
Yeah, I don't connect anything together in my head.
Nah.
You're like, you get off at the train here. Here, I've got this little bit
I know
mapped
where
out.
this is.
Yeah.
It's like an open world video game, and you haven't opened up the whole map yet.
Yeah.
There's little bits where you can fast travel to places.
It feels.
And I know this area.
Even though I don't know what that is you're talking about,
He was nodding a lot.
but I do think I now understand open world video games.
Yeah, like Red Dead Redemption or something. It's it's a big open map.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like for you, you've spawned in the Paris end of Collins Street.
Yes.
And never left.
No.
You sleep in Chanel.
Talk to me in Battletoads terms.
It's like Earthworm Jim, where
so I need to be going from left to right.
yes.
But that is totally. It took me so long to realize that I thought both ends of the Melbourne block were.
Oh, we're back to the yep.
At the same. I thought Parliament was on Spencer Street, which is like the exact opposite end.
Yeah, but it's confused. Yeah,
but for a lot because I don't know why, but I had them both. So I'd go to Parliament sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, this is just obviously just down. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Should have just looked at a map.
But did you think that Spencer Street Station was not on Spencer Street? It was on Spring Street back then.
No, I thought Spencer Street Station was closer to
quite
Parliament
long.
Station.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I always
Why are
worry
you bullying me?
that Australians, we seem like kind of small compared to other countries, and then we're like, I don't understand how the train works. I don't know where it goes. But I'm the same.
It's in a loop. I don't know.
I'm the same. I don't understand how anything works in this city, but I still anytime I see a bus in Melbourne, I'm like, where's that going?
Yeah. It
Do you know
says
what I
on
mean?
the front.
But it doesn't. It's like, where are these people on a bus going?
Yeah.
I've never seen people like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a tram and train city. What the fuck is this bus doing?
Yeah,
here?
bus. I don't trust the bus.
I never met a bus person. My God.
No.
But I grew
Where
up.
are they?
I
These
grew up
poor
amongst the
souls.
buses.
Where are they going?
Because you grow up outside the tram network.
It's true. I did take a bus to school
I
every day.
could have.
Sorry, I'm othering the bus.
Well,
people.
you grew up way outside of the tram network.
Newcastle. It's not even on the loop.
So it will be soon.
Yeah.
A lot of building going
The
on.
sprawl.
Bullet train.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about when
I
the
still
next
don't
murder.
know.
The next murder is it
Oh,
Queens?
yes.
Is it Brook? It's somewhere in
It's in
one
New
of
York,
the, it's in
and
the boroughs,
they're-
in
and
the
it's
center of the universe.
June 21st between 1 and 4 a.m. So they took this info to their boss, the chief of detectives, Joseph Borelli. He was skeptical, to say the least.
Oh, you can see that scene playing out as well.
Yeah.
That he's like, my budget stretch. You can have 2 guys. I'll give you 2 guys. And they're like,
your last straw, spooky desk.
I'll have your badge. Yeah. That's exactly how it was playing out. But then they were like, someone's going to get shot tonight. And apparently that convinced him.
he's like, yeah, it's New York.
Yeah.
We're all getting shot tonight.
That sounds like a terrible Katy Perry song. We're all getting shot tonight.
So Borelli goes, all right, you can have all the resources you need.
Wow, you really flipped. Pretty fine. Bring in the army.
So they put together this task force called Operation Watchdog, and Chirivolo calls these cops the best of the best. They included this big bikey-looking guy called Luis Savaresi, and he had, in the interview, he's like, yeah, I've got tattoos on my back, and he lists his quote, I have faces of serial killers. I got Manson, Charlie Manson, Berkowitz, got John Wayne Gacy, the clown, and the theme was evil that men do. Without police, you have anarchy. Are you kidding me? I mean, you're fighting bad guys, you know? Part of my life, you know? So that's why I did it, you know? A part of my life.
That's why I did it. Okay, arrest this guy. He just said that's why I did it. And he's got serial killers tatted on his back. Wrap it up. We've got him.
That's a man who spent his life having to explain the serial killer tattoos on his back. He's in a constant state.
Hey,
It was so defensive
I'm not
about
worshipping these guys.
Yeah.
I caught these guys.
This is
Kinda.
It's on my back, so people only see it when I'm running away from them. What?
And he brought it up. Like, they're not visible.
Yeah, he's wearing a suit.
So it was better. I thought the way he called Charles Manson Charlie Manson.
Charlie!
Yeah, that's weird, man.
Yeah, you know? And the theme was...
The
it
evil
felt
men do.
so defensive. Yeah, well, I mean, why are we even talking about it? You brought it up.
And also, no Eileen Warners? Sexist.
Oh, that is so disappointing. Women can serial kill
it's
too.
2025. Women have the right to murder. Wait, what?
So through the media, New Yorkers were warned that a killer was on the loose, choosing victims via their astrological signs.
Oh, so if you're a Tory and you're like, I'm off the hook already.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm invincible. No one can shoot me ever. But I'm up the other end. I'm a Virgo. I'm going, oh my God. I've got a couple of months, but not long.
Taurus, go out. Aquarians, stay in. Stay in tonight. I reckon stay in.
In a press conference, the police warned if any individual approaches them in any fashion and the subject gets around to the date of birth, be extremely careful. And we would like to know about any incident like that that's happened.
I haven't thought about how did he know the... Like, I just figured he must work in a place that has records or something.
Yeah.
Ah, good one. Like, if he's like, I was going to say maybe he's a nightclub bouncer. He's looking at IDs, but all the people have been like 70 year plus, so they're probably not getting ID'd.
Probably not getting ID'd, but probably also not... If he asked, they'd be like, I don't fucking know. You know? Imagine asking a 78-year-old in 1990 New York, hey, what's your star sign?
I'm a Gemini rising.
still to this day, they genuinely don't know how most of the star signs were figured out.
Ah.
They still, they're not sure. So I don't know. Maybe there was some sort of connection to a records facility. You might have busted this case wide open.
Oh my gosh. But I do love that they're like, if the conversation just happens to turn to your birthday, your birth date, your star sign, call the police immediately. You're about to be shot.
Which also, I feel like early 90s was a pretty star signy time, right? I reckon there was a lot of like, you'd be on a date with someone, you'd be like, what's your sign?
Yeah, sort of
in the early 90s?
panic button under the table.
How early did you start dating, Rhys?
I never really, but dating, I didn't really do it, I don't think, because I feel like we don't date in Australia.
No, that's a big, that feels LA.
I think you like meet someone
Is
at
that
a
an
party.
LA thing?
Yeah. Is that a douchebag thing? I think
That's not what I said.
do you meet, no, you said it. I think in Australia you meet someone, you root them, and then at a certain point you decide to keep rooting them.
Well, you're like, well,
at least in my community.
that's it.
And by that I mean
The East Coast.
The
of
East
Australia.
Coast, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's any kind of like, when I used to watch TV shows as a kid and they would do the like, we're not exclusive, like where I'm going on a date with this guy, but also I'm going on a date with this guy later on. Like, Sex and the City made no sense to me for a lot of reasons.
Yes. No, I think it's the same in my community.
Yeah.
Oh, no, East Coast as well.
East Coast.
I thought you meant the Paris.
So, 21st of June, they are hitting the streets en masse trying to catch this guy.
And people, there must be panic in the streets, right? Because the media is also reporting it's this day.
Yeah, like you'd think hardly anyone would be out, but that wasn't the case. According to former Assistant DA Cheryl Anania, there were dozens and dozens of detectives assigned to try and find him. They flooded the streets in that neighbourhood to see if in 21 days he would appear. According to Savaresi, this is the big bikie guy with the tats.
He's still justifying him.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you... Let's see what you think of this guy after this quote. He's sort of like being interviewed. He's kind of likable and fun, but some of the words you say out of context are like...
Is he wearing an orange jumpsuit in the interview?
No. He says, that night they put people together from individual precincts and we hunted the streets. But now you got to say we canvassed the streets, you know. So, but we were hunting. I was hunting, you know. Who we were looking for, nobody knows. Could be a black guy, a white guy, a Spanish guy. We tasked, questioned, and frisked everyone who moved.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
And apparently there were hundreds of people out and about, and anyone who was out and about, they treated as if they were a killer. Which you can't do anymore.
No. We just wanted to see cats.
This is the land of the free. Yeah, it's all on the...
We're all just like, we all went to another place and I'm like, oh boy. It's not, it never was.
Yeah.
So it's just, they're just out frisking, stopping people on the street, being like, are you the killer?
Cats would have been peaking then as well.
Yeah. This is high cats time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jellicle cats as Jellicle does.
Yeah, I tell you what, Maxwell Sheffield, he was furious around that time because he's like, I think he passed on cats.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Him and Andrew Lloyd Webber were always in a battle.
Yeah.
Thank God he's got that sassy nanny to
Yeah, that's true. Keep him...
eventually fuck him when they didn't know where else to go with the series.
Yeah. And then looking back, maybe they were all along.
Do you know that the nanny isn't a thing in the UK?
Really?
Yeah,
Never
we've
heard
heard
of
it.
it.
We've referenced it on a live show before. We're over there and they're like, what do you
They
want?
tried to watch it. They played like half a season and it didn't work.
Apparently, even in America, a lot of Americans are like, what? Why are you talking about
Yeah,
that?
we talk about it so much.
I can't make it clearer to American listeners how big the nanny was in Australia.
Huge.
Right? Like,
We
It
all
was.
watched
That
it.
was New York to us.
yes. Piano played anytime you looked at a building.
Yeah. Laugh track when you entered a room.
Oh my God. Everyone wore sassy dresses and walked downstairs.
Chanel was a place you could shop at.
Yeah.
Is that
No, I
right?
think
No.
that's still a thing.
Not a Chanel. Yeah, where does she go? Something on... And retail's an amount you could pay for something?
Yes.
You paid retail?
And you return them.
I didn't understand anything that they were talking about. Never understood.
I thought the butler was gay the whole time, and then he ended up in a relationship with Cece.
Oh my God. We
They
should
got
say
together.
spoiler warning.
Oh, sorry.
AJ, put that at the top of the episode.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, man. It's so fun. It's just a real fun thing to... Like, every reference about it is just fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it is probably more fun to talk about than to watch.
It's an insane show. And do you know that she pitched it on a flight? She met the producer and was an actress going to LA, and she met the guy and
Rhys,
was like, I had this idea.
You better believe that I've done an episode.
Oh,
on it.
you've done an episode.
It was a Patreon bonus
Okay,
episode. I didn't think the public were ready to hear it.
But it's crazy. A plane pitch.
Plane pitch.
And it becomes
The Nanny.
The Nanny,
Yeah.
the most important piece of Australian popular culture.
Yes.
somehow.
What was it on? Like 6:30 at night? Was it like it was,
It was
on
on
every
the big,
night?
The big three was
Simpsons, Neighbours,
and the Nanny, and then Seinfeld would rotate, and with those four would rotate in those three prime time slots.
Yeah, wild.
No one was touching the dial.
Nah, Channel 10.
Yeah.
when it was still
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah. Valet.
It's all right. We got those last tickets on the Titanic. We're all right.
So they're stopping and searching everyone. As Chiravello says, now they would consider it a gross violation of civil rights.
But back then, we got results.
Back then, it was a little faster, a little looser.
Now these days we gotta call it, I don't know, canvassing or something faggy like that. I don't know. I can say that. I'm allowed to say that.
People say, get a warrant. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Get a wife. What? Anyway, I'm 3 times divorced.
I don't need a warrant. I got a wife.
You want to see the tattoos?
Next to Charlie Manson, that's my first wife, Elizabeth.
Yeah. I put her there to remind me the evil that women can do.
Busting my balls.
I have them on a similar plane.
Yeah. She also turned a bunch of people against the police.
So, despite all that effort, 4 a.m. came around without any luck.
Oh my God, they've frisked 500,000 people.
Yeah,
and
for nothing.
They got no results.
Nothing.
They were shattered, especially the ones who pushed the theory. They were kind of putting themselves on the line.
Sorry, everyone.
The boss was like, you can't be serious. And they're like, no, we're serious. And the boss was like, you can't, no, people don't, the murders don't happen because of the star signs. And they're like, well, they don't, but we just need this. If this guy believes that they do, then, you know, it's a genuine threat. But yeah, they were sort of, I imagine, going back.
Straight back to the office.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
But then Chiravolo receives a call from the Central Park precinct. And this is how he recounts the conversation. He said, you didn't get anybody up in Queens and Brooklyn tonight, did you? I said, no. He said, you know why? Because he just shot someone in Central Park.
Oh, no.
Chiravolo says, son of a bitch. It was like getting punched in the stomach, punched in the solar plexus.
Mixed feelings, surely, because you can go into your boss's office and say, see, I fucking told you.
Yep.
Yes. So I think I think maybe he was better at Chiravello was better at hiding that part because someone had been shot, whereas Milanense,
Oh, boy.
the
This is the tattoo guy.
no, the other, he's the De Niro Mulder.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
of
you
course.
got Bikie guy, we got the guy whose name's on his suit, Zara, and we've got Milanese,
Mulder.
Spooky Mulder.
Okay, Robert De Niro.
So Milanese remembers it more fondly.
It was a beautiful night. We were tired. I didn't know anything would cheer me up, but then I found out some guy gets shot in the head.
we didn't know
I
all the
don't-
time.
I don't mind saying, I got a little chubby in my pants. I don't mind saying, a little twinge down there. I liked it. I've been chasing that high ever since.
So he remembers that like he got like the boss, Chief Borelli. He remembers him saying to everyone, "Hey, here's my guys. These are the ones. They told us it was going to happen." And Milanesi says, "It felt really good. Not that someone got shot, but the fact that we knew we were right." I'm glad he had that.
Yeah.
Not that someone was shot.
Again, apologies to the widow.
It's like, well, they've said a crime's going to happen. Again, it's New York in the 1990s. Someone got shot in Central Park. But also, like, you didn't stop it. So you're claiming the credit? Yep. We did it. We
knew this was going to happen. It just happened in a hugely different part of New York.
Yeah, that's what Milanesi says in the interview. He goes something like, and then the chief says, "See, next time, gonna need a place as well." And he's chuckling as he's saying it.
They're all laughing.
Wonderful. It's good to laugh in the precinct.
So now there's a fourth victim.
Uh-oh.
A man named Larry Parham, a homeless man who was on a park bench in Central Park. The bullet passed through him, though, and he survived. Oh. And the bullet was... Yeah, don't tell Malensi. He was just celebrating.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they recovered the bullet from the bench, so they had, decent evidence there.
See, where's he getting the birth date for the unhoused man?
Yeah, and well...
Yeah, just chatting him up.
This is the one that they think they know how.
Oh.
He survived, but he was unable to provide a description of the shooter as he was sound asleep at the time. So, this is like the most cowardly... like... Serial killers are always a bit cowardly, but this is like, next level coward.
Most cowardly.
Beeson says that the New York Zodiac was attacking lone individuals and was basically looking for weak targets. So he was looking for targets that he was pretty sure could not fight back if he got his shots in with his zip gun. And he was pretty much a coward. He was definitely going after people that look pretty weak. So Beeson's a real expert, especially on the San Francisco Californian Zodiac. So sometimes the New York one, coward. Not like my guy.
Oh yeah. He was taking risks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loved the sun. He was from San Francisco, He loves
flowers in his hair.
Yeah.
And while he was asleep during the attack, the New York Times writes, Mr. Parham told the police that a stranger had earlier asked him about his astrological sign.
Oh.
Mr. Parham also gave some details that allowed the police to release a sketch.
Like a comedy sketch?
So yeah.
This is how we think it happened. I need a place. Central Park. Okay. Occupation. Serial killer. Okay.
And also, would the sketch be about the fact that clearly this isn't the city that doesn't sleep because this guy was asleep? If this was true, there'd be someone wouldn't have been shot.
So, obviously, he asked him with no mask on and stuff like that, I guess, assuming that he would later be killed. So he was able to give a pretty good description. This is what they drew, put out on the front page. Is he the Zodiac? I think helping to prove that it was a pretty full-on time in New York at the time. The story above it is they left her to die. Prosecutor tells grim tale of jogger trial opening. So it's just like
one of the just over 2,000.
So anyway, according to the True Crime Database, is that kind of? I'm not like. Is that kind of what you were picturing?
Look, I will say he looks a little more, and this is a broad generalization and hopefully not as racially charged as it's about to sound. He does look quite a bit like the cop from Die Hard. You know, the guy that's on the radio and talks and do everything?
The dad from Family Matters.
Yes!
Yeah, he does a bit. Well, the media caught on to a different a different pop culture reference at the time. Maybe it was pre Die Hard? No,
post Die Hard.
Well, they should have really gone with that. But maybe they didn't want to go with a cop.
Yeah, true.
According to the True Crime Database, he described the young man as black, about 30 years old, 5 foot 10 inches to 6 feet tall, and around 185 pounds. The sketch was released to the press, and journalists soon began referring to it as Evil Al Roker.
Oh, wow.
So,
the guy that shit his pants in the White House.
Is that true?
That's true. He said it on the news once.
What?
Apparently, yeah. It's like that morning television thing where they're just talking. And he was like, I put myself in the White House.
Because they're just like delirious. They're up every morning and like,
excuse me, Al?
no filter in your mouth or pants.
I did a poo in the White House. Didn't make it. Got a tattoo of it on my back.
Sorry, Al. What?
To prove the evil that men can do.
Anyway, we're going to a break.
That's the most evil thing that's ever been done in that building.
He's not obviously we never really had him here, but there was an episode that he was on Seinfeld a bunch. He was like on the cover of the TV Week, and it was a recurring thing. So I've known of him for a long time as well. Jeez, it's just if we could get some of our own culture, the nanny, that sort of stuff, Australian culture,
classic Australian, directed by Baz Luhrmann.
Oh yes,
a nanny remake, would it work? I don't think it'd work.
Well, it would have to be set in probably Sydney, right?
Yeah,
the big smoke.
Yeah, she came over the bridge.
Yeah, to the northern beaches. Is that?
Yeah, northern beaches. She was there to sell wellness diet pills. She was there, so she became an au pair.
Actually, honestly, we got to catch a plane.
Yeah, we got to cancel this podcast and get on a Jetstar flight. It'll be a Jetstar flight.
Yeah, that's where TV execs in Australia are flying now.
Yes. I mean, maybe.
So yes. So homeless man is shot but survives, Mr. Parham. And according to Chirivolo, the real find at the crime scene was the note. He had his circle and crosshairs on the top. He's got his fourth piece of the pie in there, which is cancer. They checked out Parham's date of birth, and again...
Terrible pie.
I still ate it.
It's only one of the slices.
I really believed you when you said that as well.
And yeah, they checked, and that it was right. Parham's... was a cancer, and Chirivolo continues, we still didn't know how the shooter knew the astrological sign of his victims. That was baffling. So now 4 victims, he's 4 for 4. There's 8 more people until he fills in the pie chart. For Crime Library, Melissa Ann Madden writes, an intriguing Zodiac letter arrived at the post the day after the Central Park shooting. It contained the same occult symbolism, nonsensical ramblings, and listing of the victims, time of death, and star sign. This letter, however, was unusual in its vehement attempt to convince the Post, and thus the police and public, that New York Zodiac was the same person as the San Francisco Zodiac. It's so funny. Anyway, to me it is. Let's find out. Aside from a few enthusiastic exceptions, the police, press, and public never really believed the two were the same. The East Coast and West Coast Zodiac.
Right, yeah.
Everything from that killer's handwriting to the victim's descriptions of the assailant pointed to the fact that the New York Zodiac was just a copycat. However, the June 22 note reads, this is the Zodiac. Yeah. I've seen the post, and you say the note sent to the post not similar to any of the San Francisco Zodiac letters? You are wrong. The handwriting looked different. It is one of the same Zodiac. One Zodiac. In San Francisco, killed a man in the park with a gun and killed a woman with a knife and killed a man in the taxi cab with a gun. The note, this is the bit that made me chuckle. And I know this is grim things to be laughing about, but the note also has a doodle of the original Zodiac with the note, and it says next to it, me in the park, is this similar to one Zodiac?
So what? It sounds like a toddler. Hey, there he is.
Is drawing a picture of the famous
funny little legs
San Francisco Zodiac and said, huh? How would I know this?
How would I know this? All the pictures we released
20 odd years later.
And it looks like a doodle of someone wearing a paper bag on their head.
Do you not remember?
He had a black sack with it.
Yeah, but like...
And clip-on sunnies, remember?
But everyone's seen that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it also reads like a toddler hurriedly telling you about all the stuff they have in their room.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the kind of like, and one Zodiac, like just so excited to be telling you about it, taking out all the thes and the ats.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fun. And it's just so funny. Like, the first Zodiac, from memory was all like cold and
Yeah.
not that needy. This guy is so needy with it.
This guy's a bit more of a BTK. He was a needy serial killer as well. He was very like...
So, all right, mate.
Dennis.
Is that what his name turned into? Oh, man.
Because the last Zodiac was like had all the cryptic stuff going on as well.
Yeah, he's not sent us one puzzle.
No single puzzle, just me being like, one Zodiac, it's me. I'm him.
Because weren't even the Zodiac letters were ciphers themselves, right?
Yes, that's right. Well, I can't remember looking into this, but there is something that looks like a...
But again, it's like it's something you write on a phone call, like, you know, like around a shopping list or something. They're just little kind of... Yeah.
So yeah, the note pretty silly.
It's a silly note.
But there was a reminder that this was all serious stuff. A couple of days later, Joe Procci, who had remained in hospital, ended up dying about 3 weeks after he was shot. Died from an infection from the wound.
Oh, so that's the hospital's fault. But you know what? Zodiac's going to claim that.
Definitely going to claim it.
Yeah, Zodiac.
I got one.
After this, it becomes a homicide investigation.
Into the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd take a big detour now.
Unless he's like spitting on the bullets as he's putting them in or something.
I think... yeah. We do... What's he?
Give it a bit of... Rub it in the dirt a little bit.
He said no dents or whatever. No grooves.
No grooves. I like dints though.
He didn't say no goobers. No. So they're like, all right, it's a murder investigation now. They throw everything at it, but the trail soon goes cold. Again, thinking outside the box, Milanesi, Spooky Mulder, Spooky Milanesi, met with a warlock named Herman.
Sorry?
It was a big warlock in New York.
Yeah, deepest, darkest forest of New York City.
There's Herman.
There's footage of Herman, and Herman's really playing up for the camera back in 1990. He's got a snake. Like, yeah, I've got a snake, but I'm not a snake expert. I'm guessing it's like a carpet snake. Or something.
Yeah.
But
I'm imagining David Bowie in the Labyrinth.
Yeah. He's putting on a show.
Yeah. But he lives in his mother's basement.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the spookiest room of the house.
My mother gets home at 4, so we need to do this now.
So Herman suggests he get The Book of the Law by Aleister Crowley, an English Satanist. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty famous one.
Yeah, sex magic.
Sex magic.
He's with the sex magic.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Necromancy.
Right. Necromancy and the necropancy.
Yeah.
So Milanesi later said, that's when I started getting freaked out because we knew we were dealing with some very strange people at that point. I knew a couple of other occult stores in the area. Nobody had the book. I went up to the Central Research Library on 5th Avenue, finally found it. Apparently wasn't allowed to take it out. It was kind of rare. And then he says, when I sat down, I opened the cover of the book and the book opened to the exact page I wanted.
Yeah, because you used your hands.
He said that the spine was kind of broken, so it was almost... And it also had a note in that page, which would also help it open to that page. Yeah, okay. It's like got a bookmark, basically.
Yeah.
But the note read, and he says, I believe it said, there's two different, I'm using the funner version of his telling of this. I believe it said, White Devil, we knew you were coming. And it had a pentagram and a lightning bolt. So apparently he shat himself. In
the library.
Yeah.
Al Roker chucked an Al Roker. Chucked a big owl.
A metaphorical roker.
Gonna take a roker. That's good.
It's also a terrible Cluedo. Like shitting yourself in the library with a candlestick.
What a way to go.
By myself.
So
he's definitely reading this by candlelight. Absolutely.
Yes.
So apparently he's like, and he's not ashamed to say it. He pulled his gun out, basically.
On the book? You bastard. Stop shooting. No one calls me White Devil and gets away with it.
That's why they're like, we wouldn't let you take the book out of the building. We knew this would happen.
No, he's not thinking it's the book, but he's thinking someone is watching me. Someone knows that I was coming to look at this, and they're in here.
Poor librarian just had a gun pulled on them.
Yeah.
So he was afraid.
Third time this week.
And then
I hate New York.
he figured out no one was actually there. Put his gun away. And he read
got shot.
He read the book. It freaked him out even more.
Read the whole book.
Oh, he read that whole section, and
Okay.
and to him it all linked up with the murders. It said it was all about like trying to take slaves with you into the afterlife, and you had to kill them in certain ways, and you wanted the most people to know, but everyone to be confused. All these sort of things that were vague-ish, but linked up to the murders. And he became really wary of being followed home. He'd worked with the mafia for years, but this was the first time he really started freaking out. He'd like turn off early on the highway, circle the block. Apparently his wife's like, you're looking different. You're looking ashen face and stuff. So he was all pretty freaked out by it. But I don't think it's different tellings of it will have that happening earlier, and that led to them picking that date, but others have it later. So I don't know where it happened, but I thought it was an interesting little side note anyway. So they finally get a break in the case when the lab finds a partial fingerprint on the most recent letter. Unfortunately, things weren't computerized back then.
No.
So they kind of have to match it by eye, almost like manually go through, which is very laborious. They have to a lot of time and effort, but it leads to nothing. They can't match it or anything. But still, they're like, one day, if we ever find them, maybe this will be the.
That would have been like such an annoying job. There's not enough Dexies in the world that would have or a Vivance, whatever, to just sit there and have to just hold up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what? Where are they keeping all the fingerprints?
And they're so how they all kind of look the same.
Yeah. So they look for those little swirls.
Swirl, whirl, swirl.
Wait.
No.
Nah, swirl.
Swirl.
Infuriating.
And just the whole system. And we've in previous episodes about solving murders, it's so much frustrating stuff about just departments not talking to each other. All these things that crimes would have been solved so much easier.
Cops are big on getting their department to do it as well. They'll openly kind of hold and I think was it BTK or one of them. A lot of it took slower because they just
didn't talk to each
chat
other.
to each other about it.
Yeah, which is
Men, talk to each other, please, and also stop murdering.
okay. Geez, can we do one at a time?
Yeah. All right. Well, which one? Pick one.
Yeah. I'll do one as a New Year's resolution next year. Okay. So yes, nothing comes of it. Things go quiet, and the task force and the investigation sort of gets disbanded, gets put on the back burner in late 1990, in November 1990. Of the task force being wound down, the big bikey-looking cop, Savarese, the guy with the tats, said, "This guy disappeared. Where is he? Is he dead? We don't know. And really, that pissed me off, you know?
Frankly, we don't want to know. Well, actually, we do want to know.
Wait. No, we do. We do.
Yes, but people got away. People get away with murder." That's a good quote.
But not the guys on my back.
Yeah.
We got these guys and my wife Doreen.
So he sticks around, but Chirivolo and Milanenzi, they both retire around this time. I reckon, it's full on. Both of them are talking about it like it was kind of ruining their lives, their home lives and stuff. They were missing holidays. They weren't seeing their family that much. So yeah, everyone moved on to other things. That was until the 3rd of August, 1994.
Oh my gosh.
We were 4. How old were you? 60?
That is so sweet.
Your old or broken phone can let you down when you need it most.
Perfect.
But at Verizon, trade in any old phone from our top brands and get the most for it, up to $2,000 in value. For an amazing new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and a new line on My Plan. And iPad and Apple Watch Series 10. That's like a 3-for-1. And you can get it on any plan. At Verizon, trade in your old phone for a brand new iPhone 16 Pro, iPad, and Apple Watch. The other guys won't give you that. Visit Verizon.com today. Additional terms apply. Service plan required for Apple Watch and iPad. Up to $2,000 value based on iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch.
BetterHelp Online Therapy bought this 30-second ad to remind you right now, wherever you are, to unclench your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and out. Feels better, right? That's 15 seconds of self-care. Imagine what you could do with more. Visit BetterHelp.com/randompodcast for 10% off your first month of therapy. No pressure, just help. But for now, just relax.
So, on the 3rd of August, 1994, after nearly 4 years of silence, maybe just over 4 years? No, yes. Another letter was received. Sergeant Joe Herbert, who in the Netflix show refers to himself as Pork Chop. They call me Pork Chop because I kind of like eating food.
I'm also a pig.
But he looks like a really average looking guy, and I don't know. But the other guy's like, yeah, I still call him Pork Chop. Is like way bigger than him in every, like taller and just a bigger guy. But anyway. A bit of fun around the office, I guess.
Hey, Pork Chop.
I quite like it as a nickname.
Hey, mashed potatoes.
You just had lunch? I bet you did. You love to eat.
I am fat, yes.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay. I'm sad.
I'm Pork Chop.
I'm Pork Chop, but I'm sad.
So Pork Chop, or Joe Herbert, he wasn't on the force in 1990, but he had followed the case pretty closely through the media. So he was pretty pumped to get the chance to have a crack at the case.
Yeah.
Here's Herbert describing the letter. On the right, he listed 5 incidents of violence. So the first thing that I do, I started to research the crimes that he was taking credit for. First one is from August the 10th. So this is the new letter going, hey, here's a bunch of crimes I did.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You thought things had gone quiet, you'd forgotten about me. Well, I haven't forgotten about you.
I stole some clothes from the dry cleaner. How about that?
Sorry, I ruined that by knocking over an empty glass.
Do you want some water?
And it sent a shiver through my spine because I thought it was full. No, I'm all good.
I pulled a gun.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. You pulled a gun on a book? That's so funny.
Well, I probably oversourced that a bit. He unclipped his thing and he went to hold it. Basically pulled a gun.
I like the idea of pulling a gun on a book. He'd hate book cheat.
Oh, he'd hate it.
Terrified.
I'd be dead.
That book cheat to him is like watching Mindhunter. It's just like, why are we glorifying these things?
Yeah. So Herbert Pork Chop, he describes, and I because he calls himself Pork Chop. I think he's pretty apt with the nickname. So, So he says, so the first thing I do, I started to research the crimes that he was taking credit for. First one is from August the 10th, 1992. Female, white, stabbed and shot in Highland Park.
Ooh.
That was Patricia Fonte. That was the first woman victim. And this was totally different from the others. She was stabbed 100 times.
What?
And he said, we found no indication that she was shot, but she could have been. There were so many marks on her body.
Oh, God, that's so awful.
Yes, I read somewhere that, and it so inconsistent, the different tellings of the story, but one place I read that it's thought she was shot, but she tried to wrestle him. So in a panic, he pulled a knife.
Stabbed her 100 times.
Yeah, which is, I'm starting to think this guy's insane.
At a certain point.
We are assuming it's a man, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's sexist.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a sketch, and I would say if that is a woman, no offense to large women with full facial hair.
Yeah, well, I will say that's a sketch of the person who asked about star signs.
Oh, so maybe he was just
just curious.
A traveling
We don't know.
astrologist.
Yeah, maybe.
100 is, and in no way am I glorifying, that is a horrible thing that happened. But 100 is like stab 10 times and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? At a
This
certain
is
point, you're like
awful.
73, 74,
Yeah,
75,
100
76.
is so wild, so violent.
77, 78, 70,
So that's
80.
that's the first one. Then there's Jim Weber. This is still with Pork Chop. Jim Weber,
the heir to the Weber dynasty.
Yeah,
Barbecue King.
Barbecue King. Yeah. The Zodiac shot him. Then hopped the fence and fled into a nearby cemetery. Weber survived. Joseph Diaconi was a homeless individual. He was shot in the back of the neck and bled out instantly. He died. Diane Ballard was shot one time in the neck and she survived.
And later became transitioned and turned into Tom Ballard.
Tom Ballard, that's right. And then there was a fifth victim, 11th of June 1994. Pork Chop says, we did a very thorough search of the park. Cadaver dogs, helicopters. We could not locate the victim. 2 of them were homicides. 2 were non-fatal. The NYPD was not able to connect the second series of attacks with the first series because there were over 2,300 homicides a year in the city in those days. Yeah, so the Knight's claiming credit for a bunch of different...
And that's the first we've heard from the killer in 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been busy. I've killed these people.
And the cops are not sure. They're like, is it even the same person?
And it's like, because now if it is a copycat, it's a copycat of a copycat.
Yeah,
So at this point, it's
exactly.
like it's a photocopy of a photocopy.
Yeah,
it's getting
babushka
less and
dolls.
less. Yeah.
Yeah, or is it the killer just being like, I'm bored. I've seen these murders or things in the paper. I'm just going to claim that I did that too.
That's true.
Could just be claiming that, I stabbed that lady.
Yeah.
And it does have the vibe of, I have a similar thing of, I've killed several people. But I'm not doing a tour this year, and when people ask me what I'm doing, I panic and go, I've been busy. I'm doing other things. I've been doing heaps. I'm still doing comedy. And
You're
he
looking through
said
the
this
paper claiming other people's shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hughesy kicking out those women from that show?
That was me.
The note signs off by saying, quote, sleep, my little dead. How we loathe them. Does that ring any bells? Apparently that's a quote from Edgar Allan Poe.
I want to wake up.
And there's another part of the note that says NYPD 0, Zodiac 9, taunting them with a scorecard.
Yeah. I mean,
Right, as in like they haven't killed anyone because
I think that might be a little off.
Yeah, if it's a kill count, they
come on,
they're going to win.
And there's also this picture on there. The first sort of
Oh,
I like a little
he's
like,
playing solitaire.
yeah, was that like a little? I'm seeing houses as well, like little rows of houses. maybe?
Yes, little like those little ceramic houses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know the ones that I mean?
there's the score NYPD 0, Zodiac 9.
Now, do we know about their birth signs? These people, these 5 newer victims.
Yes, I think he hasn't doubled up for all but one, but he seems to be playing that up a lot less. That's only found out later, but when they look into all these victims.
Yep.
But for some reason, this version of the guy, or if it's still the same guy, has changed his MO a bit.
I mean, in 4 years, he's like, I don't believe in that anymore. That was crazy. My new thing is just killing people at random.
Yeah, and I've gotten into glass blowing. I don't know how I'm going to involve that in the murders yet, but just so you know, that's my hobby now.
Yeah, I'll try and combine them later.
According to the True Crime database, the police released the letter to the public a week later, and soon the city was gripped in a blind panic, fearing the return of the Zodiac. Detectives were hesitant to declare this newsletter the work of the New York Zodiac, suspecting it might have possibly come from a copycat. The Zodiac's totem pole code, which is what they started calling it sort of looks like that, it ended up being composed of international maritime signal flags.
Oh, what's that called?
Semaphore.
So someone noticed that, and journalist Kieran Crowley from the New York Post decoded it with the help of his father-in-law, who was a veteran of World War II. and who had worked in signals intelligence and cryptography. And when deciphered, the code apparently read, "This is the Zodiac speaking."
Speaking.
Was there a little pause there?
Yeah. Ahoy hoy. So, "This is the Zodiac speaking. I am in control. Who mastery be ready for more? Yours truly." Which I don't know if that, like, I saw another version of it made more sense than that. It was basically saying, "This is the Zodiac speaking. I'm in control. Be ready for more. Yours truly."
With love.
Yeah, XOXO. Gossip Girl. Another task force was put together. And they worked with the fingerprint again, checking more strategically. Pork Chop was looking at certain zones that he called like the killer's areas of comfortability, and he had a bit of an overlap. So he was checking any criminals who were in those areas and working with the fingerprints. In the doco, he's like, "I put my beeper on vibrate and I touched him. I didn't want my wife to wake up, but I knew it was going to go off. I knew they were going to find something." And they didn't find anything. It never turned into anything. It was, good theory, but it didn't come to anything. And the New York Zodiac, sadly and frustratingly, would not be heard from again. The trail went cold, and this second task force was also dismantled. The big bikie detective, Savarese, later said it felt just like deja vu. The second task force is over. It's winding down. No body, no perpetrator. That bothered me. That bothered me a lot, I gave it the best I had, That's what they're paying me for. If I can't get you, good luck.
Good luck?
Yeah, he really turned around in the end there, didn't he? All the best.
I really enjoyed that monologue.
Yeah, I like the way he talks.
Yeah.
So he's fun. Like, at the time in the 90s, he had like this sort of big curly mustache.
Oh my God. You know who else has a mustache? Potentially the killer.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh my
You were
God.
just pointing at Matt. Yep.
No, the sketch we saw.
Yeah.
But in the doco from last year, he just had this huge white beard.
Santa.
Yeah, I think.
Oh my God. It's
So I was like, I'm delivering toys, you know.
That's what they pay me for. I got a picture of the Grinch on my back.
Hey, here's a piece of coke, kid. Good luck. Herbert, Pork Chop, took a career change and became a hostage negotiator. Which, by the way, I think his first job's worth mentioning it because it lets us finish with a positive.
Can I quickly... Does this mean it's a mystery episode?
Yeah, you've gone early, but yeah, it is a mystery episode.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, it's a mystery episode?
Cut it out. Sorry, cut it out, AJ. Don't make it funny.
Let's talk about Herbert's first job as a negotiator. I love it because he was like clearly really nervous about it. He's like, I want to do a good job.
As he gets on the phone to the hostage taker and he's like, "Hello, you can call me Pork Chop.
Yeah. What?
I like to eat.
I like to eat.
I'm your friend."
I'm quite an interesting person. Here's one of my very unique traits. I eat like every day.
Well, almost every day.
All right, so this is I'm gonna tell it from Herbert's point of view. It was June 18th, 1996. So this is a few years later from when we've left the story off. He's trained himself up. He's finally ready. He's doing his first job. There was a hostage job in the 7-5 precinct. I was nervous because this was my first hostage negotiation job. An individual had shot his sister and is holding her boyfriend hostage. They told me his name was Eddie. I'm saying, Eddie, we don't want you getting hurt. None of us want to get hurt, Eddie. This went on for an hour and a half. Finally says, I'm ready to surrender. I was proud as a peacock because the bosses, they were patting me on the back. Good job, all that stuff. So I was very satisfied that I didn't blow it because they don't always go good. So now they're taking him back to the station house. And I went back to the scene. The bomb squad had removed 2 pipe bombs fully constructed that he had in the apartment. So he saved lives probably. I'm at the scene. I'm talking to the bomb squad guys, and 3 detectives came right to the corner here, and they hand me the confession. Eddie confessed to shooting his sister, to holding his boyfriend hostage, all wrapped up. And then Herbert notices something interesting about the confession. The handwriting. He'd know it anywhere. No. You wouldn't read about it. It's the bloody Zodiac.
No, what?
I was tricking you. It isn't a mystery.
What the heck? He's recognized the handwriting.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He says...
That was such good acting.
I can't tell if this is another double.
No,
this
me
is,
neither.
You've just made up. You've been like, all right, I've panicked. It's a mystery episode. It's not satisfying. And then his first job as the hostage taker was, yeah, it's the killer. We got him, everyone. Good night.
So this is what Herbert says. I actually had a physical reaction, and it was kind of like my blood pressure went down like 40, 50 points.
I shit my pants.
He says, it looks like my wife's shopping list. That's how familiar the lettering was.
Hang on a second. Is his wife also involved?
Yeah.
Yeah, at first that you're like, what do you mean? What's he written? Eggs, milk? No, he's just saying he's
like
so
the back of his
familiar
hand.
with
I know
it.
this so well.
And I'd also be annoyed that I had to write my own confession, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, especially if it leads to you getting done.
Yeah, you want to let you dictate it at least.
Yeah.
If you know that you are kind of famous and not yet found for doing crimes where you taunt the cops with notes, I'd definitely be changing up the handwriting style.
Imagine if it was written in like I did the murder, the pipe bombs.
Yeah.
1, 2, pipe bombs. A pie.
Pipe bombs.
That's when he knew.
The eye contact we just made.
Pipe bombs.
But are we to believe that if Porkchop hadn't been involved, they wouldn't have noticed? Like no one else would have picked up on the holy shit.
If it was someone else, it seems like it. Yeah. And he had bombs now.
Wow.
So you got to assume that people were going to die. Like he was going to have his third.
Well, he's clearly not good
wind.
with a gun.
Yeah. So Porkchop goes, the S's, the T's, and the M's, you know. I knew the handwriting from all the letters that I'd studied for the last 2 years working the Zodiac case.
That is so wild. I'm actually blown away.
Yeah,
here.
me too. I kind of went to another place then because I was thinking
imagine that moment when you're looking at it, you're going like, this can't be canon.
Yeah.
Kind of comparing it, going, holy shit. Am I insane? Am I noticing that it's not there?
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
And apparently he calls the big bikie guy, that's the first guy, because he's like, we got him. Like he calls him on the day. He's like, he knows it straight away.
He was in the tattoo parlor.
He's all right. What does he look like?
Send him over the phone. There's no time. Just describe him.
So,
is Eddie the guy from the sketch?
no, I don't know who that guy from the sketch is. He looks nothing like that.
I think it was just the cop from Die Hard walking around trying to find out people's star signs.
He was working on a new character.
Yeah.
So was he a cop in Family Matters as well? Or just the dad? I think he was both.
I think he might have just been a dad.
Right. Yeah, because it was all set at home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he's also a dad in Die Hard. So,
oh my God.
Could be the same
One
character.
note. So yeah, just so wild.
That's insane.
This is as Bono writes, after years of
Sunday, bloody Sunday.
Wasn't it Sunday? Sal Bono, this is.
Sal Bono.
Sal Bono writes, after years of inactivity, a report of a domestic disturbance proved to be the undoing of the New York Zodiac.
I mean, it was a pretty big domestic.
Yeah.
It was a murder.
Domestic.
It wasn't a murder, it was a shooting.
Oh, he didn't kill that.
That was his sister.
But she didn't die.
She didn't die.
Oh,
no.
so I don't know why I assumed.
This guy's so bad at murdering.
Yeah, I assumed that she was dead in the apartment with him, and that he was negotiating for the boyfriend's life.
No, it was just he could have.
Okay,
so he was about to be a domestic terrorist.
Yeah,
like he was about to be a terrorist.
He was about to go up. Like I mean, there was a full-on jump from the first to the second one with the stabbings and people dying instantly.
So I did five attacks. Yeah.
He loves pipes. You know, he made a his zap gun.
Is he a plumber?
Oh, he's a plumber. It's Mario.
Mamma mia.
We're still trying to solve who it is, even though we've arrested
It's
it.
Yeah, this is more Warriors vibe.
Yahoo!
This is what Salbono writes.
Salbono.
On a hot day, so yeah, the domestic disturbance is what was his undoing. On a hot June day in 1996, Gladys Reyes was shot in the back by her brother, Herberto Eddie Seda, in their shared Brooklyn home. Reyes escaped home and fled to a neighbor's house where she called the police. Reyes' boyfriend was still trapped in the home with Seda, but managed to barricade himself in a bedroom. By the way, so this is what the New York Zodiac looks like.
Oh.
So nothing at all like that
Nothing
description.
at all.
See,
He's kind of handsome.
Worth getting a tattoo of?
Like on your chest or something.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
main
A real
bit.
centerpiece. I mean, he could get the tattoo this time because he's actually been involved in this case at least.
Yeah.
and there's him getting taken away by the bikie dude and the pork chop.
Oh,
We're going
wow.
straight to the tattoo parlor. I need you to sit down and do a sitting.
How old
Hold
was he?
still.
He was in his 20s.
Really? And this is like 6 years or 5 years after the first.
Yeah, so he started early 20s, I
And
think.
what's his vibe now?
So
So he'd be like 50 something now.
I don't
No, 60.
I don't think
In
I've
the
looked.
Maybe
90s.
in his 50s.
50s.
You mean vibe? You want to know what he looks like now?
Oh, just, you know, has he gotten like fit in jail?
He is apparently like the only place I've seen he's on the Wikipedia page, which I don't know
It's fine. I don't need to see.
what it is. I think some sort of database
Well, yeah, what is
of,
Wikipedia?
of
I hear it mentioned on here sometimes,
serial
but I can never
killers or
grasp.
something. But apparently, he had a sexual affair in prison with Cynthia China Blast, a transgender woman who is serving a sentence for gang-related murder. So,
Cool.
Is that when you say vibe?
What? You know, he's clearly, you know, he's got a diverse group of friends.
Do they? do they? I mean, do they put out updated photos of?
I mean, is there like a kind of TV Week style prison magazine
Where
we
are
can
they now?
find out? Yeah.
Well, we know where they are.
Where we left him last.
That's the name of the segment. Where we left him last.
Where is their jawline now? Something like that.
Basically, I just want to know if he's still hot. Anyways.
But yes, he started so young.
So the sister calls the cops. The cops come. That's when you have the standoff with Herbert.
Did she make a coffee first?
She obviously would have made a coffee first with the wound in her back. Jeez, he shot a lot of his victims in the back.
Coward.
Bono continues. When police entered his home, they found a cache of weapons, which included pipe bombs and zip guns. Former Assistant DA Ananya said, those two letters, the fingerprints they retrieved from both of those matched each other. They knew it was the same person. Years went by, and they were always trying to match those fingerprints with the fingerprint from whoever they arrested. It was really exciting. It was like Cinderella. It was like the shoe finally fit after all these attempts to try and find him.
It was so romantic.
I love the terms they've put it in there. As news quickly spread that the New York Zodiac was arrested and in police custody, more came out about Seda's history. This is still from Inside Edition. Eddie was basically just a loser, Beeson told Inside Edition. He's the one who...
That's got to hurt when you hear
That's
that.
gotta. He couldn't kill more than 2 people his whole career as a serial killer.
What a loser.
Remember, Beeson's the one who's dedicated the life to the Californian
All right,
Zodiac
trying
as
to
well.
big up the mysterious one.
This guy's a loser. Why are we even talking about him? But
We love our one.
Beeson goes on. He got kicked out of school for carrying a gun to school when he was 16 years old. He wanted to be a Green Beret. He joined the army and fortunately did not get past their psychological test to get into the army. Or who knows what would have come. Because if he did get in the army, I'm sure he would have actually been able to acquire some real weapons later on.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. The New York Times, I'm going to read a chunk from a New York Times article that was published later that week, reporting that he said to a cop who didn't want to be named, he said to them that, why'd you kill him? And he said, because they were evil. So he was a reclusive man obsessed with guns and the Bible. And he admitted to slaying 3 people and wounding 5 others in 2 calculated waves that bound many New Yorkers in a fitful terror. And he became known as the Zodiac shootings, police officials said yesterday. The stunning admission to the twin crime sprees, one during a compressed period in 1990 and the second from 92 to 94, apparently closes one of the city's most notorious unsolved cases. During 4 hours of interrogation, the police said, he admitted those crimes as well as the latter attacks. Until yesterday, the police said they never knew with firm conviction whether the 2 deadly rampages were actually the work of a single person. And they wondered if the
Or a married person.
Could have been a divorcee.
Sounds like it.
And yeah, they were starting to wonder if he would ever be caught. Heriberto Cedar, 28, who was arrested Tuesday in Brooklyn after shooting his half-sister and engaging in a gun battle with hundreds of police officers.
Hundreds?
With a zip gun, a spud gun. He was portrayed yesterday as a withdrawn man smitten with weaponry and the teachings of the Bible and who preached damnation to drug dealers. Apparently that was one of the reasons he was so upset with his half-sister. She was getting involved in some people who are in the drug scene and stuff. I guess that's why he was trying to protect her. That's why he shot her in the back.
Yes. Can't do drugs with a bullet in your back. Until you get to the hospital and they give you
they will
morphine.
pump you right up.
Get the good stuff.
Yeah.
2 years ago, the police seemingly came within a whisker of linking Mr. Cedar to the Zodiac shootings when he was arrested on a weapons possession charge. So they did him for having a zip gun, and his fingerprints would then have been routinely sent to Albany to be compared with prints stored in a statewide fingerprint identification system. But 6 days later, before the full set of fingerprints were mailed, the case was dismissed and the fingerprints destroyed. Because they're like, oh, this gun's fault doesn't really work anyway. So the case was dropped.
Oh, God, he's such a loser. His gun doesn't even work.
And that's why he got away with it. And apparently that gun was the gun that had been used in previous attacks.
Oh my God.
The New York article continues. I did promise a Giuliani reference.
Oh.
In announcing the arrest, Mayor Rudolph W. Giuliani profusely praised the police department yesterday and declared that the latest arrest, quote, gives the victims and their families a sense of justice that helps the healing process. Remember when he was seen as a real beacon of something or other?
He was the mayor of America. That's what they
Yeah.
used to call him. And it was just because something happened when he happened to be mayor. Anyways.
The article continues. Late last night, detectives searched his house, removing 4 large paper bags full of evidence, including books, magazines, newspaper articles, and a bow and arrow, which...
Evil.
Well, that'll really piss off Savasi.
Yeah. They pull a gun on the bookshelf.
Not Savasi, sorry, Melancy.
Oh my God, books. Oh,
Get in the bag.
Oh,
Get
God.
in the bag. Nice and easy now.
they're dead. It's okay. This guy's got all these dead books in his house. It's so spooky.
You know, like there's that sort of a trope where a Bible will save someone's life with a bullet through it. And the cop's like, no, I wasn't trying to shoot you, man.
Yeah.
I hit the target.
A guy in my family was a cop and he got shot and it stopped in his wallet through a picture of his family.
Holy shit.
Wild.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That is some good quality paper they've printed it on.
Was that 300 GSM?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it was just that the one with the holes on the side of it, the dot printer.
That's
but it was just
good
layered.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a dot picture of his family. But yeah, true story.
That is incredible. Oh, yeah, they found a bow and arrow, but the police said it had never been used.
He couldn't work out. What do I do with this thing?
He's trying to get spuds on it. Thump.
Where do I spray the deodorant?
Inside his room were more than a dozen plastic models of military equipment, including Cobra attack helicopters and aircraft carriers and assorted gun magazines.
Oh, cool.
Including a Remington catalogue and a gun parts catalogue. There were also basketball trading cards, G.I. Joe comic books, a magician's kit, and several pornographic videotapes.
All right, so he's still kind of cool.
Yeah, he's got cool hobbies.
Yeah. I'm not against like 3 to 4 of those things.
He's still kind of cool. He's practicing magic at home.
There's things that I could talk to him about.
Yeah. Which is this card? Which is your card?
Yeah.
Which is this card? He's got a bit of practice ahead of him.
This is card.
Which is this card? He doesn't know the symbols yet. What's this one? It looks like
He's trying to be the new Zodiac Killer. He doesn't know symbols.
I mean, some people call it a club. I don't really see it.
No.
What kind of club is
This is
that?
more like a clover.
But so no Zodiac stuff? Like as
No.
in no
Apparently
astrology stuff?
No, it doesn't seem like it. But he did apparently see a documentary about the Californian Zodiac Killer, and he quite liked how he annoyed the cops, and he was sort of
Game recognizes game.
And he hated it. He liked astrology the first few killings, but when he came back, it was gone. Do you reckon he discovered porn by that time?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care about that shit anymore.
I think videotapes were more of a thing by that point.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
it's easier to get his hands on the good stuff.
It was reel to
you
reel
know what I
first
mean.
time around. Apparently he had so many weapons, filled 3 buckets with homemade zip guns and the bombs and stuff.
It's such a vague term. How big are the buckets?
bucket of guns.
He had 3 buckets of guns.
I'm picturing like what do you call it? A feast? What do you call I've never been to KFC, but do they have a big bucket?
Oh, yeah.
Do they have a feast bucket?
I've never seen the buckets in Australia. Did they have them?
Oh, yeah. He can get a bucket. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Should we split a bucket after this?
Yeah. Yeah. I was wondering when I'll have diarrhea in the next couple of days.
Confirmed.
How would I get it? I do love it, though.
Yeah. Some people will get a colonic.
Yeah. I just
Rhys
eat
goes
only
KFC.
skin from the chicken. I peel all the skin off the chicken.
Colonel Colonic. It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
I reckon this is my favorite quote from the article, the New York Times article from the week of the arrest. He was very religious, the detective said. He kept talking about Jesus and good and evil and salvation, but he never explained how he made his jump from a Roman Catholic upbringing to a Zodiac serial killer.
Just get to the good bit.
Yeah,
Well, I kind of think that's your job, isn't it?
Yeah.
As the cop, to
can't.
explain that.
It's like they keep walking out going, he's not a good storyteller. There's no second act here.
I wouldn't describe it as a tight 5.
I'll quickly run through. Bono talks about the trial.
Sorry, which one is this?
Oh, sorry, this is
Sorry.
Bono again.
Yeah.
In June,
I first met the Edge.
Bono McCartney.
Yeah, I know. I realised as I was saying it. I don't know how to do
Irish
it.
is hard.
Irish
Yeah,
is hard.
Irish is hard.
I first met the Edge.
Well, maybe it's not that hard.
There we go. There you go.
So Bono, Sal, writes, in June 1998, Cedar, and I've said his name differently every time, apologies for that. He wanted to be famous. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, Zing.
Yeah, that'll
Cop
show
that. Cedar was convicted of 3 murders and 1 attempted murder after a 6-week trial in Queens. This is an interesting thing to me. It sounds like they had to do separate trials for the Brooklyn ones and the Queens ones. He was sentenced to 83 years in prison for those Queens ones. And he was also convicted in a separate trial in Brooklyn a year later of 8 attempted murders, which with several of those charges being in connection to his attack on his sister and the fight with the cops. So he's getting done for that as well. And he was sentenced to 152 years in that case.
Oh. Because I was thinking, if it was just the first bit, he's only got 50 years to go.
Yeah, it could.
That's fine.
So there's a chance for that,
He could
if
be
you wait
back in
long
action.
enough, you get to meet him. But 150 years on top of the 80, that's a lot.
it's gonna be.
Modern medicine, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Imagine in 100 years, I marry the New York serial killer.
We'll have to have you back on. I assume we'll still be doing the podcast.
Yeah. We'll all be heads in jars. It's like, guys, I did it.
Lived out your dream.
Rhys, we don't remember what we talked about last week.
Anyway, this guy killed.
Yeah.
Well, no, he didn't kill as many people.
You covered check it out. It happened. I did it. What? This is going to be the best. They're going to love this.
It's a long time to wait for a joke to pay off, but
You're committed.
Bono continues, while trying the case in Brooklyn, dealing with Cedar. So this is why I've been quoting from the assistant DA, Ananya, a bit. She was, she was there at the trial. Dealing with Cedar was like dealing with the weather, she said.
Okay, wet sometimes.
She never knew what she was going to be working with or against that day. I think she works with or against the weather. He decided he would come to court whenever he felt like it. And so there were days, sometimes he didn't show up, so we would just be trying the case without him sitting there, she recalls. As he was walking out of the courtroom after one day's proceedings, he walked by the judge, and the next thing he knew, he started running up the steps towards the judge on the bench. And we were all like, oh my God! And the court officers just tackled him and brought him down. He had some deep-rooted anger in him, she says. Mm-hmm. In total, Cedar was sentenced to 232 years in prison. Now 56. This article was written last year, so he's 57, I guess. He remains incarcerated in the Clinton Correctional Facility in Dannemora, New York.
Do they have an email address for that?
I don't have one here, but I'm sure we could check one out. Having experienced a number of failures and setbacks in his life, Cedar is believed to have been motivated to kill by the desire to be known. But as Beeson notes, his crime spree is often eclipsed by more famous ones of the other Zodiac killers. Beeson, of course, is the real hero of the... I hope that's right. I've really been hammering that home if it's not. Either way, Beeson says, this final thought, I'll leave it with Beeson. Mm. I think he was just looking for an excuse to attack anybody. And it was about creating a name for himself. Even though he wasn't even original enough to come up with his own name. So he wasn't even original there.
Isn't that funny? That is such a borderline explanation of so many people we work with in this industry. Like, they just wanted to kill to be known.
And they didn't even...
And they couldn't even do that.
Couldn't even come up with their own onstage persona. Nah. That's why we're all doing race.
Well, that was very...
Yeah. Well, wild story, right?
That is wild. And a great fake out.
Really good.
I really thought it was a mystery episode. And then that chance thing happened. I can't believe it. You'd be spewing if you were the killer, but it's obviously good to get some justice and take him off the streets because he had the pipe bombs.
It is good. It is good that he got arrested in the end. I agree, Dave.
But yet no one has suggested that is not in the hat.
Really?
And I've put it up for the vote, I reckon, 5 times, and it comes second.
Mate, take a hint.
No one wants to hear that. I'm like, it's real. It's a good story.
Honestly,
it's wild.
I've looked into it and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, they should take the hint.
Yeah.
Why does he keep putting it up for
I'm glad he did, because that is a wild story. I'd never heard of it at all.
Yeah, and I like it. It's a semi-sequel to episode 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a... not a full reboot, but maybe like... It's like the Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
It's within the same universe.
Yeah.
You've zeroed in on a character.
Yeah, he was younger or whatever.
And not quite as good as the original, but still pretty good.
I liked it. I thought Solo was fine. Wasn't it? I watched it on a plane.
I watched it on a plane as well. And I like them all.
I'm just happy to see Donald Glover in a cool outfit.
Yeah. For once. That was your joke.
That was yeah.
And I said it, yeah. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
AJ, can you edit that out?
Keep it in.
The guest decides. And it's in.
I'll do the edit. I'm just going to upload it.
Yeah, straight out.
Rhys, is it true you're doing a podcast now?
Good, thank you. I do a podcast. It's called Fwends, Fwends. It is with me, my husband Kyron, and our friend Georgia Mooney, and it's on its third rebrand. Well, it started off as a movie podcast during the pandemic. Georgia had COVID, long COVID, and she was in Sydney, and we would Zoom with her and watch movies, and then we'd talk, and we did all of the Marvel movies, and then we did all of, like, just watched a lot of movies in different universes. And then we decided we'd make a podcast just about friendship, because we have a weird friendship where Karen and I are married and have been together for a long time, but just before we got together, Karen and Georgia were together. So that creates an interesting,
yes.
And now Georgia and we're like kind of best friends. It was a tense start to our friendship.
It sounds like to me you've got one link left in that chain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we're gonna root. But is that what you meant?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, sure. But the podcast is, Friends, where we every week we interview an interesting / famous person about their friendships.
Do you let them know which one they are?
That's how we start. We're like, and of course, this week is an interesting person episode. Tune in next week for a famous one.
Do you ever try and get one who's both?
That's not possible. That's not possible.
They don't exist.
Yeah.
That's our white whale.
The unicorn, yes.
But we ask people there to tell us about their first friend, their fastest friend, their former friend, and their forever friend. And it's a little bit of we like hearing people being able to talk about their like childhoods and stuff. It's basically just a chatty podcast. But like the next one that we've got coming out is Sarah Blasco, but we've got the one before that was with Ryan Shelton. Like it's quite a mixed group of people, but it's fun. Listen to it. Friends.
Love it. Friends.
And then the first 20 minutes of every episode is kind of us just shooting the shit.
Being actual friends.
Yeah.
Because she lives in London, so it's kind of the only ways that we can catch up with her as well. But yeah, have a listen. We like it. Is that a good sell?
Yes. It is.
So like Maya, we like it. But thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks so much for being on.
Great story. I enjoyed it. There were genuinely times that I forgot that I was on the podcast because I was listening to the podcast. And then I was waiting for Jess to cut in and I was like, oh, wait, no.
I'm the Jess.
I'm Jess.
So good. And you're going to be on our 500th episode.
Yes. Big theatre show.
So
Bit
excited.
of fun.
So excited.
What is that? Is that show, is there lots of guests?
Oh, yes. In the other first one, I think we're announcing now then.
Oh.
Yeah, we've got a series of...
series. And is it some of us, we come out for a minute and then leave? Or is it a... I'll stop talking about this because it feels like you haven't announced it.
No, we're working it out. But maybe you'll come out, do a magic trick.
This is your card. This is a very aggressive magician. This is your card.
And then you shoot a homemade gun. And then
and I'm out.
It's something to do with the episode that you've been on previously.
Yeah.
So this makes sense for you.
Yeah. Wow. But no, I'm very excited
I
about it.
think we think it'll be more like you just come and sit and we talk about a topic, but while you're doing magic.
While I'm doing magic.
Yeah. You're doing magic. Like
Penn and Teller are going to be there and
you
we have to
gotta
fool them.
Do it in a way that only the live audience is being entertained by it and it won't affect us being able to release it as a podcast.
Yes, you can't distract us because we've got to be talking
Don't
about
distract
a topic.
us. You can't say anything about your mat. You can still talk about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But on mic, you can't.
So you might hear just off mic me talking to audience members being like, "Was this your card?"
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so remember this card. Ace of clubs. Ace of clubs. That's what I just said. I need to work on my magic.
No, that's good. I think that's really good stuff.
Well, yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
Ace of clubs is a thing? No, it's not.
Oh, no.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is. I thought it wasn't, but it is.
I thought you were being like, out of all the suits, that's the lowest one.
Yeah, but I was also picturing a heart as the ace.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm Matt.
You're the man of the show now. You stick around, you want to be the Jess, but everyone ends up becoming the Matt.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us.
So much.
Thank you.
It's been so fun.
This has been a real treat. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I guess I'll... this will be one of the only episodes in a long time that I won't listen to. I can't listen to myself.
No, 100%.
No. Nice to meet you, AJ. Even though I haven't met you, but I'm meeting you in recording.
Well, as we say goodbye to Rhys.
Goodbye, Rhys.
We stopped briefly and walked them out. But as we say goodbye to Rhys, we say hello to everyone's favourite section of the show.
Hello to everyone's favourite section of the show. I can't stop.
I can't stop. Hopefully that was a fun episode. It was a unique experience because Dave normally is just the report giver who has self-doubt about the episode. But when there's a guest and a report writer, we both got to, and Rhys and I both needed you to say, no, that was okay.
It was good, no, because the catchphrase of the report giver is always, was that any good?
Yeah.
Which we all have said hundreds of times each at this point. Because when you're in the report, you kind of like feel like you're stopping the fun a lot of the time. But obviously, it's a big part of the show. It's doing the report, very important part. And Rhys, so funny in everything they do. But it's like, I don't know, was that anything? And I was like, yeah, you were so funny.
Rhys is so funny.
You're always so funny. So we really thank Rhys.
So cool to have them on as well.
Real pleasure.
And as Rhys was leaving, said, well, that'll be the first episode I don't want to listen to.
Yes, and we understand you don't love listening back to yourself, which is why we've brought in beautiful AJ to edit these things, so we don't have to listen back to ourselves drivel on. But anyway, what is this section, Matt? What are we here for?
Well, this is where we thank our supporters who make the show possible. They do so at, what is it? Patreon.com/DoGoOnPod.
That's right, patreon.com/DoGoOnPod.
And people who go there, sign up on various levels. Support the show. This is what keeps the lights on, keeps the mics on, keeps the recording on, etc. Hey, but everyone listening is also doing that. But these people do it a little bit more, in a different way.
In a different way, absolutely. Because one thing they get is ad-free listening.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't have to put up with any of the ads. They also get bonus episodes. We put out 4 a month, and there's over 250 in the back catalogue that you get access to straight away. They are there forever, so you can absolutely jump on that. You hear about live shows before anyone else.
We can't. What if there's some sort of critical issue with storage?
Oh, gosh, which we are facing yet again once in our Google Drive. So is that why it's on your mind?
Yeah,
or
just can't say forever.
Or there's some sort of nuclear war.
Yeah. So I'm just saying nothing's forever.
Okay, nothing's forever. But at the time of recording, you get access to the full back
There's
catalog.
no plans to get rid of any of that.
But like nuclear war, we don't control that. Do you control that?
No. Hopefully that pause wasn't too long.
And you also get to vote for topics, so you get to decide what the show is all about. And also,
listeners, like I was saying, listeners on multiple occasions chose to vote against the one we did today.
Exactly, and no one wanted to suggest this topic. But you also get you also get access to the Patreon Facebook group, which is a beautiful part of the internet. You might be thinking, Facebook, I haven't used that in years. Well, let me tell you, it's worth getting on there again just to be in this beautiful group. So supportive and lovely.
Oh my God, I just pulled off Dave's head. It was Zuckerberg all along.
That's right, you got zooked.
Honestly, don't sign up to Facebook because of our site. That would not make me feel good.
Right.
But if you happen to already be on
if you're already on there and you want it to be better, you want it to be improved, we'll do that for you.
Now, they're all fantastic things, but another thing people get involved in, if they are on the Sydney Scheinberg level, Memorial Rest in Peace package level or above, you get to be involved in the Fact Quote or Question, which is a section of the show that has a jingle that goes something like this.
Fact, quote, or question.
Dong.
Dong. He always remembers the dong.
And you always remember the song.
The bong. Oh, sorry. Sorry. That's not.
Yeah, that's something we're trying to say.
Yeah, that's off pod.
Cut it out, Dave. Too many hits from the bong from you.
Bubbling away.
We call you bloody Cypress Hill over there. So this one, you get to give us a fact, quote, or question, or brag, or suggestion, or really whatever you like, and I'll read them out. You also get to give yourself a title. I don't read them out before we read them out, so there's no quality control. I didn't mean it like that.
But there doesn't need to be.
I mean no quality control on my pronunciations is what I'm saying.
That's right. There's no rehearsal.
The first one comes from Jesse, aka guy who hopes his boss doesn't listen to the pod. Well, let's bleep out the surname there, AJ. What do you think about that?
But are you thinking if it's nominative determinism, like they're napping at work? Is that what the worry is there?
Well, actually, also Jesse would have thought of this, so you probably don't have to worry about that, AJ, because I think Jesse, if needed, probably already put in a fake name.
Right, unbleep it, AJ.
The first one comes from Jesse Napper, aka guy who hopes his boss doesn't listen to the pod. You get to write if it's a fact, quote, or question or whatever. And Jesse's written life news /question.
Wow.
Writing, howdy all. Wow. What a great episode this has been.
I agree. That's what I told Rhys and Matt, but they wouldn't listen.
I can't believe that twist at the end. Oh my God, that is
it was.
I'm about to pull my gun out.
Shoot the podcast.
Is someone watching us? Congratulations to Matt. It says insert report writer's name here. On writing what is by far the best report I've ever heard. You've always been my favourite report writer. That means a lot, actually, Jesse. I think the other two have a lot to learn from you.
Hey, I'm here. Jess will never hear this, but I'm here.
And you're here to learn.
I'm here to learn. Thank you for pointing out the error of my ways.
I'm here to share some wonderful news about my life.
Yes.
I got engaged.
Woohoo! Woo! Air horn. Congratulations.
My beautiful now fiance, Holly, was kind. Oh my God. Is the thing about the boss, Holly is your boss's wife or something?
You're engaged to the boss's wife.
I hope my boss hasn't heard.
Or boss's mum.
Holly was kind enough to say yes, which makes me so happy. That's such a funny way to phrase it. She is by far the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with her. We've decided to elope without any of our friends or family present, which our parents weren't stoked to hear, but it's how we want to do it. Like the fast movers we are, we got engaged on the 30th of January, and we already have our elopement date set for March 15th. So we'll probably already be married by the time this is read out.
You are already married. Congratulations.
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
They're air horns. AJ put them in after. That's why they sound so good. Oh my God, I forgot I'm the man of 1,000 noises. Let me do them. AJ, you don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah, they're better than AJ's.
And what made that even better was you doing like sort of like triggers, like your finger gun. Like I know you look like you were probably pulling an air horn, but it did look like you were like Rambo, 2 machine guns.
Yeah. That's what my spud gun sounds like. They've got air horns attached. So we'll probably already be married by the time it's read out. On top of that, we've decided to move from Sydney to New Zealand in June.
Wow, this is big life steps.
Okay, this is the thing. I haven't told work this yet, so I really hope my boss doesn't listen to the pod. Sorry for hoping someone doesn't listen to the pod. What you should do, Jesse, is tell them to listen in your resignation letter. Put a hyperlink in there in a written letter. I'm so excited and slightly scared for the big move. My fiance grew up where we'll be moving, so she knows the area very well, which will be helpful for me. With all these big changes in the next 4 months, I might need to disappear from the Patreon until I'm all settled. I hear getting married and moving countries is quite expensive. Well, I don't think it is if you're moving from Sydney to New Zealand. You might all of a sudden go, geez, I got cash up the bloody wazoo.
Rent's a lot cheaper in Sydney, which is famously a very expensive city to live in.
Yeah, I don't think New Zealand's cheap, but I just think Sydney is like one of the most expensive places in the world.
Outrageous.
And with good reason. The beautiful harbour, the beautiful beaches.
You pay for those views.
Yes.
There's a tax on your eyes.
Yeah. But I'll be back. Look at me talking about myself so much. What good news, big or small, do you have? Thank you, and see you on the New Zealand tour. Thank you so much, Jesse. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you and Holly.
Dave, do you have any big news? I don't think. I don't know if I have any small news.
I guess small news. I was stoked that we were asked to go on the quiz show at the Festival Club.
Oh, yeah.
After going, because it is a nightly after party after the comedy. It's another late show. And I've been going there for years. And I've never performed there before. And now we get to do our own show there. And just being asked to do that was the...
Oh, Dave. Never performed there.
I know, Matt, you've been there many, many times.
Oh, Davey boy.
So,
kiddo.
one day.
Kiddo.
I've been looking up to my hero, Matt Stewart, for many years.
But you did even in your bands?
No, I've never, and that's the other thing. It used to be called the Hi-Fi Bar. Now it's called Max Watts. But growing up, that was like a great music club to see live bands. So I saw heaps of stuff there when I was in school and uni.
I saw Data Rock there. I saw Coheed and Cambria.
We were there the same night, which we worked out 20 years later.
I saw what's Matt Skiba's band? Why am I remembering his name and not his band?
Gone blank.
Oh, no.
I saw Taking Back Sunday, Bright Eyes, Atreyu.
People are yelling at their iPods right now.
Many bands.
Alkaline Trio.
Alkaline Trio, of course. That's right, because he filled in. He was a member of Blink-182 too for quite a few years there too.
Yes, that's right. And I saw who was Dragon Force there.
Oh wow!
And I saw Tism there, and it's one of those big venues.
Yeah, that's right. A bit iconic, and to be doing a quiz show, so that felt like a little victory a few weeks ago. A little thing to celebrate. Anything from you?
No, I don't. I mean, can I claim that one too? Nothing's really coming to mind. It's you get asked. I'm going to a family wedding this weekend, and I need to get ahead of this question because it's small talk with family you see every couple of years. Not most of them, a lot of my family I see a bunch, but some of them, you see
the
them,
extended family.
You've got nothing really to talk about, and that's the question. Oh, what's been happening? Oh,
so you need something.
Yeah. So can I might say that, and they'll be like, oh, good on you.
You say,
how much does it doesn't sound like anything to anyone outside, but inside our little world, this is a cool thing to do. Good on you.
Good on you. Why don't you say that you just got engaged to Holly and you're moving to New Zealand?
Fantastic.
They'll think that's big.
I'll say, don't tell my boss. Thank you, Jesse. Congratulations once again.
That's awesome news.
Next one comes from Michaela McRae, aka Collectibles Enthusiast, with a question. Hello. Today my coworker came across a $1 coin with a vanilla slice design. I love seeing cool coins, and where possible, I will save them and pass them on to my team. It got me thinking, if you could each design a fancy coin, what would it look like and what face value would it be? We always ask, if you ask a question, if you can answer it, that'd be fantastic.
Please.
Michaela says, I would put a wedge-tailed eagle design on a 50-cent coin. As heavy as they are, I love them. The best coin to put in those big Vortex donation tins because they don't roll.
They are fun. It's a 50-cent roll, yeah.
Yeah, they are. It's a great shape. What are they? Dodecahedron?
Isn't it just an octagon?
No, it's got doesn't it have heaps of sides?
Oh, no, decagon's 10, isn't it?
What is a dodecahedron? I think I learned that word from The Simpsons.
That's like
Lisa taught it to Maggie.
3D.
Oh, well, it's not that. 50. You look it up.
Okay, 50-cent piece shape.
I put a wombat, and you've already taken 50-cent piece.
It is a dodecagon. So 12.
So I was sort of in the. I was in.
Yeah, absolutely. You were,
in the world.
So what was you say again? What?
So yeah, you get to design a coin.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking wombat on the $2 coin.
Wombat.
The $2 coin's a little chunky. No, maybe the dollar coin. The dollar coin's pretty great. It's the biggest of the gold coins.
Yep.
Put one big wombat front on.
Front on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Front on design. What's up? I mean, we're bumping off the kangaroos off the dollar coin just for a one-off. I'm doing this like a special edition.
Is it special?
Yeah.
Because they are, special coins do come out. Like I've got my lucky $2 coin that I use for if I go shopping and need the trolley.
Oh, yeah.
It's a possum magic.
Oh.
It's colour, it's rainbow. It's colourful. Beautiful.
Oh, that's fun.
What would I put on there? Maybe.
It's got to be a pie, right? It's already the shape of a coin.
I think it's got to be a pie. You're right. Has to be a pie. And then do I get to take the king and the queen off the other side, or do they have to be on there?
Well, I think it's your coin. You'd put the base of the pie on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh.
Top.
Could you design a coin that becomes like a 3D pie? Like a thin 3D pie?
Yeah, thin crust.
Yeah. That'd be pretty sick.
And I'd probably do...
That's a currency I would respect.
I'd probably go the 20% because that's the largest round one.
That's a great call.
I'm going to go for that.
That's a big pie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michaela.
Interesting question. I like it a lot.
Next one comes from Drew Forsberg, a.k.a. Plaster of Muppets. And
that's funny.
Bit of fun. Drew's question is, maybe this issue has been addressed one way or the other, but my searches haven't resulted in any new news on the subject, and I'm simply very curious about the status of Listen Now. Okay, I'm glad I'm here to field this one.
I'll take this one.
If this is a bad place to ask about it, I do apologise. Well, I'll see Sam at this wedding on the weekend.
Oh, perfect.
So this could be a good opportunity. The main problem, I'll say... So
you said Listen Now is your music podcast?
Yes, it's probably the smallest of the pods in the Do Go On pod family. But those who listen love it.
That's right.
And I love making it. The main issue was that... Sam moved from the Moorabbin-ish area where we grew up, which was already quite a while from the studio, to even further away.
Damn.
And it just has been... It's like it would be like she'd, be almost like planning a weekend to do it. We just haven't got around to it. But I think we should be able to. The setup at the studio now here means that Zoom or doing them via satellite.
It's much easier now, isn't it?
It's doable, as Alistair Tremblay Bertram might say.
Yeah.
So I really should get onto it. I'm just doing a little burst of Primates episodes. So I wish you were asking about that. I could give you good news, but but yeah, we I think we're about 3 years since the last episode, which was halfway through a countdown. You and I actually recorded the next episode.
Has that ever come out?
No, I don't.
Do you even have access to
I wonder if it's on this on the studio computer. I'm not sure.
That's right. We covered it in one of the albums.
Did we record it at the old studio?
It was in the other studio.
Yeah, so I don't know if it still survived or not, but I should try and find out.
Yeah, I remember enjoying the album.
Because for a little while I was like, oh, maybe Sam was like, you can just have fill-ins for me. But it would be nice to have her back to finish it off.
Yep.
And we both saw Cold Chisel late last year, which we were intending to do an episode about that.
Oh, there was some discussion about...
Oh, and I had a beer with the harmonica player, David Blight, in Adelaide.
Because does he own or work at the brewery? Is that
he
right?
was playing a show there. He's just a regular
He's
there.
a regular. That's
yeah.
like you mentioned him on Beer Pioneer.
Yeah. Oh, did I? Yeah, so good.
That maybe he regularly goes in? Or maybe he just told me off pod. I don't know.
It's
the place with the Golden Gaytime beer,
yes,
is that right?
that's right, exactly.
Oh, and what was it like? Tell us all about it.
Oh, it was lovely. We had a quick chat, told him, loved seeing him play, and yeah, but and they played a great set of covers of this and that, but they were really awesome. Me and Seren had a good time there. That was the day that we went, late that night, we recorded a Primates episode.
Nice.
Which was a bit messy. I think the episode's called 7 Degrees of Monkey or something like that. All right, anyway, this message from Drew continues. I just want to know if season 2 is ever going to continue. Yes, I commit that we will finish it. I've enjoyed being exposed to so many new artists and songs by this pod that it's been a real blessing for me, even if that reads as a tad dramatic. Anywho, I hope that season 2, a deep dive on the most requested rock albums from the 80s, is not on permanent vacation. No, we definitely will finish it. Even if Sam can't, I'll do it by myself. But I think Sam will figure out a way to do it. If the episode this is being read on is a Jess, Dave, or guest episode, I apologize for giving you a question you can't answer. And hence, I will give you this backup question. All right, Dave, this is for you.
Okay, thank you.
What is your favorite Hunters and Collectors song? Mine is Do You See What I See? A little twist on the classic Warney Coldplay question.
Gosh, that's a great song, Do You See What I See?
Yes. I love The Slab.
I'm just going through now just to make sure I don't miss any. When the River Runs Dry, it's a great song.
It's so
it's a
good.
Beautiful song. And of course the classics
Salvation.
Throw Your Arms Around Me, Holy Grail.
Hmm.
Because I think I would only know the greatest hits.
Yep.
But I do love When the River Runs Dry. That came on the radio not that long ago when I was maybe in a taxi or something. Can't think of when I would have heard it. But yeah, I remember nodding along.
Yeah, they're all like
this song's great.
Aussie anthems.
Yeah.
So good. Great question, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
I'm guessing Drew's an Aussie based on that, the way that one ended.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you cover on Listen Now? Any Hunters and Collectors ever come up? Because I did thank you for exposing Drew to new tunes.
Maybe. We will. I mean, they would have definitely come up. I don't think we did an episode dedicated to him, but definitely would have talked about him. Or did we do an episode about him? We may well have. Like I say, it was a while ago. Thank you, Drew. Final one comes from Michael DeRissi. AKA, it's 1 degree currently, in brackets, -17 Celsius. Close bracket.
That's so cool.
Or close parentheses.
Yes.
We got a suggestion here. While listening to your Paddington ep recently, I decided to stop about 20 minutes in and watch the movie because you guys so clearly enjoyed it. And oh my goodness, what a charming and delightful movie it is. I doubt if you didn't do it for the Movie Club bonus eps that I would have decided to watch it. So thanks. I'm currently planning on watching the other two, and so should everyone else. Yeah, so good.
You're welcome. I hadn't seen it either, so we covered it on the Do Go On Movie Club on our Patreon. And so Michelle was there, Michelle Brazier, because she's a massive Paddington fan. So is Jess, but I'd never seen it. Jess puts it up there, one of my favourite movies ever, especially number 2. So I gave it a go, and I loved it. I can't wait to see number 2 either.
Really great,
I know you're a fan too.
Yeah. Number 2 it's probably the best one.
That's awesome, because number 1.
The quality is really good. Yeah,
it's really good.
I love the first one, but yeah, the second one maybe just edges it out, and the third one was really fun as well. Yeah. Thank you so much for those facts, quotes, and questions, Michael, Drew, Michaela, and Jesse. The next thing we need to do, or want to do, let's put it like that, because it's true, is thank some of our other great Patreon supporters.
Absolutely.
And Jess normally comes up with a game, but it's going to be up to us. Can we fill in for Jess here? So normally it's a little game to do with the topic at hand.
Is it too grim to say, this is obviously a Zodiac copycat killer, to assign them a past killer that we've covered?
Oh, all 9. Do we have 9 killers? We probably do.
Maybe.
We could do that, or yeah.
Or is that too grim?
Or we could give their criminal identity, like the New York Zodiac Killer. Maybe we could call them where they're from something.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, let's do that. That's because that way it doesn't have to be wall-to-wall serial killing.
Yeah. And I'll, that the big bikie cop would be like, I got all of them on my back.
Yeah,
very inconsistent with that guy's voice, wasn't it?
No, it was great. You can put that on a list of 1,000 noises. Voice of bikie cop. All right, I'm going to kick things off. I would like to thank from Bristol in Great Britain, possibly in Somerset. It's Bristol in Somerset. Thank you to Mood Eye.
I think that how we say Somerset annoys people of Somerset, so apologies for that. Mood Eye. Okay, Mood Eye.
The Bristol something?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing? Yep.
We'll go. So their place is locked in, and then one of us does the thing, and the other one does the crime, sort of, like killer.
Okay, yep.
So for this one, do you want to do the thing and I'll do the crime, or vice versa?
Okay, I'll do the crime. So the Bristol.
Dairy Queen.
Safecracker.
What is Dairy Queen?
I like it.
Is that an ice cream shop in America?
And we had Dairy Bell in Melbourne. Dairy Queen.
Isn't it so interesting how your mind works when put under pressure like that?
The Dairy Queen. Oh, there's also a cafe in Glenroy.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the Glenroy
The Dairy
Cafe.
Queen Safecracker. The Bristol Dairy Queen Safecracker. Mood Eye.
Great work. Then I'll do the next one and you do the other thing.
Perfect.
Yep. Next up from Riga. Is that in Latvia?
Yeah, I think it's the capital of Latvia.
Oh, Dave, you have your own crack at this pronunciation, but thank you. Dachi Kari. Dachi Char. What do you reckon?
Das Kau. Wow, I'm so sorry. How do you say that?
All right, the Riga Tony Award winning.
The Riga Tony.
Bit of fun.
That's really funny. The Riga Tony Award winning. Insider trader.
Oh, what a life, Audaci.
I'm so sorry, but
what a beautiful looking name.
No, we can't get close to that.
I've not seen whatever that V umlaut on top of the C.
And we possibly met you, or maybe we've got multiple patrons in Latvia. Someone came to the Berlin show.
Really?
Afterwards I met, and they were from Latvia, which blew my mind.
So cool.
So maybe.
Riga.
But if there's more than one, that's even better news for the chance.
Wait, when were we over in Berlin? Because they signed up in November last year.
This could have been. Maybe they're on the train back from Berlin decided to sign up. But if not, I'm hoping there's 2, because that means there's a chance we'll get to Latvia one day.
Finally, we can do our Riga show.
Rigatoni. I would like to thank from Montreal in Canada. It is James Whale. Great name.
The Montreal.
Okay, I'll go. The Montreal scuba diving.
Dynamite burglar.
Oh, that's good.
I was going to say dentist, and I realized that wasn't a criminal.
The dynamite burglar. So some of the prices they charge, am I right? I know they do the great work. It just should be covered by Medicare. For the Montreal scuba diving dynamite burglar. Beautiful.
Yeah. And you can see why they got big, James Whale, because it rolls off the tongue.
Beautiful.
That's the kind of criminal alias that's going to go big.
All right, I'll keep it going here from Lower Hutt, somewhere in New Zealand. Thank you so much to Holly Walker.
Holly Walker. Oh, my God. Holly Walker from New Zealand? Are you engaged?
Oh, my gosh. Holly Walker from New Zealand?
Could that be?
Could it be you? Wow, you've already... You moved it. You got married 5 days ago at the time of recording and...
All right. So I'll say Lower Hutt. You'll say something, or I'll say Lower Hutt something.
You say Lower Hutt something.
I think we should stick with that because I'm so tired and confused. The Lower Hutt cannibal.
Cannibal.
I guess that's a crime.
Oh yeah. Cannibal trespasser. It's hard not to think of really grim crimes.
I mean, when I've thrown you cannibal.
That's what trespasser.
Yeah.
Trespass.
Trespass. All right. I'll keep reading the names.
Okay.
I wonder if is Lower Hutt where there was. Lower Hutt's familiar to me as well.
Yeah.
But whether or not you've just got married, happy nuptials, Holly. Holly Walker. He probably would have mentioned if she was also a listener, I reckon. Sorry, Holly Walker, to get you mixed up with another Holly. I'd also have to thank from Canberra in the Australian Capital Territory. It's Kate T.
Kate T. The
Canberra crew shirt wearing.
State false name when requested. Request. Stating.
Is that your mind that's come up with that? Or
I found a list of criminal offences and there's hundreds of them, and I just went down to it.
Crew shirt wearing was bad. Let me go again. The Canberra tomato
firearm storer in an insecure manner.
We're falling apart with that, Jess.
I know.
The glue. Thank you so much, Kate T. I think both good options. You can choose between. I'd also have to thank from London town in Great Britain. It's Aspen Watts. The London Speedo.
Speedo, unlicensed driver.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't want, like, you're getting around in your Speedos. You don't want the cops bringing attention, apart from the fact that you're like, oh, no, I don't have my license. It's in my pants and I forgot to bring them. Pretty good cover story,
That's
actually.
pretty good, actually.
Well done, Aspen. I think Aspen was at the Live Who Knew It in London.
Oh, bloody awesome.
Don't forget a name like Aspen Watts, unless you do, which I might. Another Bristolian from Great Britain. Thank you, Alexandra Mitchell.
Okay, Alexandra Mitchell, the Bristolian. Dinosaur dog found at large between sunrise and sunset.
I'm not following what these mean. What does that mean?
Apparently that's an offence.
Alexandra, you're up to no good, but what a beautiful alias you have. I'd also love to thank from, right here in Melbourne, in Elwood, Megan, the Elwood hair clip.
Bomb hoaxer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hair clips and bombs seem to...
Yeah, if you could look at that with a couple of wires coming out of it, you think, what the hell's that?
Thank you so much, Megan. I think we're back on track now. I think we've absolutely nailed that one, Megan. Which brings us to our final one this week from Blountstown in Florida in the United States. It's John Mark Plummer, the Blountstown Bulldog
perjurer.
Oh, yeah, we came out real strong.
That's a big one.
The Bulldog perjurer.
Oh, there's so many grim ones on this list, so it is hard to... Lots of fun. But, we could have had bigamist. We could have had arsonist, obviously. Insider trader, I already said that one. Brilliant.
I mean, there's a lot of great ones here.
Offence to alter, to face or place name on an engine of motor vehicle.
Oh my God, these are all so good. Thank you so much to John, Megan, Alexandra, Aspen, Kate, Holly, James, Daesh, and Moodai. And that brings us to, well, normally that would bring us to the Triptych Club. But there are actually no inductees this week.
Wow, we get to take a week off. Well, everyone inside, obviously. There's people who've been supporting the show for 3 consecutive years.
Yeah, everyone in there. There will still be a party. We don't need new inductees to have a party. We'll have our weekly party still. Jess isn't here behind the bar, but I've got the New York Zodiac cocktail ready this week. It is, it's any spirit based cocktail or mocktail you want. Okay. But instead of doing like a shooter style, we spud gun it down your throat.
Open up. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. And Dave, you normally book a band?
You're never going to believe it. The New York Zodiac Killer is here. You know who else is here?
He is here?
Well, on the report.
You know who'll be happy about that?
You know who is here? It's the New York Dolls.
Oh my gosh. The front man died recently.
Really? Oh, well,
was he the front man?
They're all back. Apparently, there are no founding members still alive, but they will be reuniting at the Triptych Club because we can have dead people in there.
Yes. In fact, some say everyone in there is.
That's right. So Johnny Thunders will be back.
Yeah, Johnny Thunders. He's the one who died recently, right?
Oh, no, he died in 1991.
Okay, not Johnny Thunders.
He's the one that
I'm thinking of... no, what's his... It's David Johansen, but what's his stage name again? He also had a great stage name.
Well, he did die recently. You're absolutely
Buster
right.
Poindexter.
God, that's so good.
He was... I mean, to me, he's most famous for being on A Very Murray Christmas.
Ah, of course. That you watch every year, so he'll live on.
Yeah, I've actually dropped off that, but yeah, had been.
You dropped off.
It never felt like the right night last Christmas.
Oh, fair enough.
You sort of have to be ready for a bit of a slow one. I just enjoy it, but it's a slow special. So, yeah, no inductees this week, but everyone in there, and there are hundreds of you, enjoy the cocktail, enjoy the New York Dolls. Back together, post-life. Post-punk, post-life. No, not pre-punk.
That's right.
Proto-punk.
Proto-life.
Proto-punk, post-life. And... Well, what does that mean? Does that mean we're finished the episode, Dave?
That's it. I didn't know how to finish this without doing it.
It does feel funny. Do you want me to throw a name at you? And you can just sort of like do some weak wordplay just to give you scratch an itch?
Hit me.
All right. From... Ceratosis, is that somewhere? In America, in Minneapolis. Please welcome Johnny Dugar.
Johnny Do. More like Johnny Do Good. Go on in.
That's good.
Is Dugar? What's Dugar? Is that a name?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think of any of that ahead. I made all of that up. I don't know.
Johnny Dugar, please enjoy some of the nougat.
Doesn't that all sound like an American thing, though? I think one of the things was definitely true, and that was Minneapolis or whatever, Minnesota.
Oh, that's a real place.
That's a real place. And Johnny's a real first name. I think the other two bits weren't real.
Yeah,
but
hey,
prove it.
Close enough.
Prove it in a court of law. But you can't. I'm the bulldog perjurer.
Should we send this one home?
Yeah, let's put this baby home.
Hey, if you're listening live, don't forget that the Melbourne Comedy Festival is happening from tonight. I believe it's just kicked off.
Dave, you're doing your show. You could go along and be dated by Dave.
That's right. Tomorrow night, Thursday, March 27, 2025, for the next couple of weeks, you can see me at the Improv Conspiracy with Sammy Peterson, and we will be dating the entire audience. You'll be using your phones to tell us what you want to do next. It's an interactive show where you use your phone, and it's a lot of fun.
But you also don't have to be that interactive. I've seen some people ask you online or post about it asking, I'm a bit introverted, I don't really want to get interactive. It's not like the kind of thing you're forced to be involved in.
No, that's right. If you, some people just go, my phone's flat, and that's fine. It means you just
clearly
don't get
they're
the
lying because you see them texting all night.
Yeah, they're texting, this sucks. So weird. I can see that. Their font's so large, they keep turning around to show me. This sucks.
Still battery dead, but you can see it says this sucks.
That's right. So yeah, you get to vote on what you want to do on the next date. So
So fun.
And and you also get to send us anonymous messages, so some of them have been pretty wild.
And then just after you finish, I'm doing my show Bad Boy. And it's just all about how I'm a bad boy of comedy, probably the worst boy of all comedy.
Wow.
And then we're also doing the Festival Club, like we were saying before,
That's
the hi-fi bar, the knee hi-fi bar, now the
Max Watts. That's Wednesday, April 2nd at 11 p.m. And it's late, it's live, it's loose.
And it's filled with love.
That's right.
Laced with love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laced with love. So I guess that's it. If you want to get in contact with us, our website is dogoonpod.com. You can click there to go to Patreon, to buy merchandise, to find any live show tickets. All the shows we just mentioned are listed there. But apart from that, hey, you made it. Go have a nice drink.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like
let's just shoot one down your face.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're a Patreon. If you're a Triptych Club member. And yeah, check out Fast Friends, the podcast with Rhys Nicholson.
Great Rhys Nicholson. And thanks again to Rhys for listening. For listening for over the years, but also for being on the show. They haven't heard this one, but that's okay. We'll be back next week with another fantastic episode. That is the Do Go On guarantee. But until then, I'll say thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Laters.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't forget to sign up to our tour mailing list so we know where in the world you are and we can come and tell you when we're coming there.
Wherever we go, we always hear 6 months later, oh, you should come to Manchester. We were just in Manchester.
We were just there, but this way you'll never miss out. And don't forget to sign up, go to our Instagram, click our link tree. Very, very easy.
It means we know to come to you, and you'll also know that we're coming to you.
Yeah, we'll come to you, you come to us. Very good.
And we give you a spam-free guarantee.